And there's nobody here yet, but we're here. If you're on the
Except for the two
replay,
of us.
yeah, just us and our thoughts. Unless you're on the replay, then hello. Thank you for coming.
How
But
is
yeah, we're
everyone
live.
doing tonight? Jack, how are you doing tonight?
I am tired as usual. Today was a very intense day, but we got her done. One more day till the weekend.
There you go.
So
That's what you got to stay focused on.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Speaking of weekends, did you see the? Well, I don't know if it's just a rumor or an announcement. I saw it just on Twitter, so I can't vouch for the validity of it. But the fact that the Disney Plus originals now are going to be coming out on Wednesdays
I
as
did
opposed to
see that.
Fridays.
I hate it.
I feel like part of me is like, okay, I feel like with ratings, they feel like they'll catch more people. Some people will watch it early and some will watch it later. Whereas if it comes out on Friday, some people may not watch it until the next episode comes out. But I also feel like when more and more shows are coming out, you're gonna think there's gonna be conflict of like 3 shows coming out in the same day. You know?
That's the problem. It's like, it's like on Wednesdays. Here's the thing, my thing. Like on Wednesdays, it's like middle of the week. People at work, they're in the middle of their work week. If they get home, like, okay, so like for me, I go to work at 8 a.m. and I leave. I'm not waking up at 5 a.m. to watch an hour show and then have to get ready to work and then go. I'm not doing that. And then some nights, tonight was an exception because my work was done, so I got to leave. But a lot of nights, I don't get home till like 7 o'clock. And you got to revamp and do it all over again the next day if it's a Wednesday. The thing about a Friday is, okay, you wake up, you go do your work, the work week's over. Oh, I'm going to watch Loki. I'm going to chill, hang out.
Yeah.
My weekend starts. Like, that's the part for me, where I'm like, I don't really know about that. But you know what? Disney knows what they're doing. I'm not going to, for now at least, I'm not going to say that they're wrong or anything like that. But, it's just, we'll see. I mean, it makes sense now because like the summer, I guess. So a lot of people are off of school and stuff, but it's just like for the people that are working and things like that, because there's a lot of people that are made up of that audience that are also working or they're adults and things like that because the MCU is for everybody. And, like for me, I don't know what I'm going to do now because like I got to see the first 2 episodes early, so I didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Now like next week, I'm going to have to like either wake up an hour earlier in the morning, which might be an option, but I'm not sure. Or I got to race home from work and watch the episode right before we stream, which I might do because then the episode's fresh. But then it pushes back the time that we start. So it's like, it's a double-edged sword. But did you see the other news though?
I don't think so. No, I think that was the only news that I ended up seeing today.
An embargo drops tomorrow, it looks like.
For Luca? Or was that today?
That was today. No. It looks like the first social media reactions tomorrow for Black Widow drop.
Ooh.
So
that's exciting.
I just saw a tweet that says tomorrow morning the first reactions drop. So we'll see.
That's exciting.
Not from me, but I probably, if I get one, probably won't be for another few weeks. But I'm looking forward to that movie now.
I know. I'm interested to see what people have to say about it, in the sense that I feel like everything that's come on Marvel critics has been super pod. Like, the MCU has never done anything like this, or like all this kind of stuff, like with the TV shows. And it's like, well, they've literally never done TV shows to this scale before. So obviously, like, critics are going to be saying that. But I'm interested to see now what the critical reception will be for something like Black Widow, when there hasn't been a Marvel movie in a long time, but it's also a movie that is like a long, long time coming. So I'm interested to see where that goes.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Just because I don't know, is it the fact that I've been going to the theater and I've been seeing the trailer before every movie? Maybe. Is it the fact that my absolute celebrity crush Florence Pugh's in it? Maybe.
I love her.
But I'm just excited to get back into the theater and watch an MCU movie.
Yeah.
I'm just excited. The TV's cool to a point, and I think this week in particular, it's great. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But nothing beats the experience of going to the theater and watching an MCU movie. And I already got my ticket for IMAX opening night. I'm going on a Thursday night, even though I know I'll probably have to work on a Friday. But I'm going Thursday night.
Just that excited.
I got prime seat center. The first ticket taken out of the theater, so I guess people are not excited to go see it, but I am lit for that. So
I think the thing with that is I feel like maybe as it gets closer, people will want to buy more tickets. But I think the interesting thing is like they're doing the premiere now, and Disney Plus has changed how their premiere access works. So it used to be that like when Mulan came out, I think it was like a 48-hour rental, but now I'm pretty sure it's like a month-long thing. So if you have, like, if you're a family and you're going to be taking 4 people to the movie anyways, that's about the price.
Mm-hmm.
So like, why not just pay the $30 and watch it every single day? Like I'm thinking like with Raya, I don't remember if that came out with the updated premiere access, but like something like that, or Cruella, like to play it for your kids every single day, like that is so much more worth the cost than dragging everyone to the theater. Now, I like, obviously, like you said, like it's the first Marvel movie back in theaters since Spider-Man Far From Home. So like, I'm excited for it, but I totally understand where some people are like, I might just like skip it for now.
Yeah, but like it's Marvel show, you know. It's not a Marvel show. It's a Marvel movie. See, I'm in show mode. It's a Marvel movie. It's a blockbuster. I mean, this is a great year. Like, you know, last year we lost. You know, so much happened that we just didn't get to see anything, and now this year it's like everything is coming.
Yeah.
And, like, I know. Well, this weekend's Luca, so that one I've already gotten to see. But then like next week is Fast 9, and then like the week after that is not Black Widow, but I think that's the week after. The week after that is something else. I don't remember. And then the week after that is Black Widow. So it's like, it's going to be great. But if you're in here, thank you for coming. Ask us some questions about Loki. We're going to get into it. We're not going to do as long of a stream tonight. Sasha got to catch a plane tomorrow. I got to catch a trip down the highway back to work tomorrow. And we're going to do that. But we got a lot to talk about tonight. Hopefully no police officers are watching, or highway patrol, because I will say, Sasha, I watched your review on the car ride home tonight. It was a great job, really going in depth. And we're going to go in depth now. So first off, Movies and Train Studios. Well, howdy, my friend. Welcome to his neck of the woods.
Movie and Train Studios saw my review, and his question was, "Are you and Jack doing live tonight?" And I was like, "Absolutely, we are."
Yeah, I did a really bad job at publicizing it, because the Luca was today. The embargo dropped today, so I was doing videos for 2 different channels, and my written review, it was a whole thing. So I woke up this morning. I'm like, I haven't made a thumbnail for this. And I'm like, I don't have time. So I'm like, I'm just going to work. And I was like, I'll just do it after. So yeah, but next week, you know, every week we'll be here. We'll be here every week. And if I can't, Sasha will. If Sasha can't, I will. But I think for now we'll be here every week. So
I think so, yeah.
Thanks, Movie and Train Studios. You're the man. I think let's not beat around the bush tonight. Let's just get into the review, because I want to talk about this episode. Do I remember it completely? Not really. I'm a little foggy about it because it's been over a week, but I remember enough to really obviously the ending is just staggering, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But before we get into it, it's the pinned comment here in the chat. Help me get to 700 subscribers. You know, it's been a gauntlet the last few days. I've been checking. And then yesterday, let me look real quick. Yesterday was such a great day. You know how many I gained yesterday?
How many?
-3.
Oh.
I lost 3 subscribers yesterday. So, but I gained 1 again today. So we're on the up and up. We're trying to get to 700. Let's do it. Jennifer,
let's get him there, guys.
Jennifer made it to 700. Congratulations, Jennifer, if you're watching.
Congrats, Jennifer.
700, which is great. I think of all my friends now. It's just me. Get me there. Come on. There. No, but in all seriousness, like, you know, it would mean a lot. So if you haven't already, you like the content, click that link. If you click that link in particular, it'll take you directly to subscribe, and it will say, do you want to confirm your subscription? And you say yes or subscribe or whatever it is, and you'll be subscribed. So you don't even have to do any of the hard work. Just click the link and it'll do it for you. Something I learned at work. Thank you, work. I love you. Learning something new about YouTube every week. But
I definitely feel like there's speaking of the -3, I feel like there's times where your growth is like, you're like, why, like, who is just on a random Tuesday like finding my channel? But then there will be like a week where like it's like it goes up one, it goes down a couple, it goes up one, it goes down a couple, and it's just like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. YouTube is, what is it that you always say, Jack? She's a fickle mistress.
Oh. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just in absolute shock right now. I need to just take a second. Background. Okay. So this is not Loki related or MCU related or even film related. This is not my chat. So I've been on YouTube for almost 7 years. We're coming up on my 7-year anniversary in a few weeks. 4th of July. How patriotic is my 7-year anniversary? But a big thing on my channel before that was content around the rapper and musical artist Logic. Y'all know him. Y'all love him if you've been on my channel for a while. Literally. Oh, and there goes my headset. Everyone just...
Oh, no. Uh-oh.
You're going to hear an echo. Everyone just... take a sec. Avengers Campus shirt.
Hey.
But I even got a pop and literally I when I saw it was announced on Twitter, I was walking down the sidewalk to go back to my apartment. I stopped where I was stopped where I stood, pulled out my credit card and pre-ordered it. So if you've been here since the beginning, you know that Logic has been a big part of my growth. I grew a lot at the beginning because of my Logic reviews and reactions. He announced his retirement last year from music. He released one of my favorite albums, No Pressure. It's great. Well, just tweeted. Let's have some fun here. I'm gonna do this. Let's do this. Let me try this real quick. Oh, it's gonna work. Oh, here we are.
Hey, there we go.
So if you know like Michael Jordan and what he did, he retired and then he released a press statement that said 2 words: "I'm back." And this was just tweeted 2 hours ago by Logic. I'm back. Holy mother of God. Okay. That's it. This is a Loki stream, not a Logic stream.
Had to get that in there though.
But live reaction. Apparently on Friday, something's happening. So
that's exciting.
I'm going to cry. Okay, here we are. Loki. Sorry. All right. Without further ado, let's get in to our Loki episode 2 review. So we're going to get into the review. This is the segment that we're going to get into our review. And I'm going to give my opening thoughts. I'll let Sasha give her opening thoughts, and we will dive deeper into this episode because, oh my God, a lot happened. It's crazy. So I'll give my thoughts first because they're a little more blurry, and I'll let Sasha go a little more in depth. We are getting into the thick of it now. I love the detective. I know you said it in your review, Sasha, the feel. Yeah. It's like the detective, you know, like kind of, because each show has had kind of a theme to it, you know.
Yeah, a vibe.
A vibe. We're into the detective with this one. Like, you know, kind of I said in my review, like the true detective kind of X-Files type vibes. You said Mindhunter type vibes. I love that. I really do. I think the finale, like kind of action sequence in the supermarket is awesome. And a thing I really liked was we really started to learn more about Loki as a like a superhero god, because we've never had that much alone time with the character of Loki. So like a lot of the time, you know, we're learning about all of our heroes, what they can do, what their abilities are. Like in Ragnarok, like Thor, we learn like what Thor is able to do, his final form, his ability. We get to learn that here in Loki. Not, you know, not as much. We're still learning, but you know, even when he's in the huddle with like the group of TVA agents, he's like, "Oh no, this is actually this, and they're two different things, and this is how this works." I'm like, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. So I really liked that, and then of course, the finale. I feel like, and I know that some of these were filmed at different times, so it could have been before, but like they're getting better at their cliffhangers. Like WandaVision was trash, and I'll say that. And if you take that out of context, if you're just jumping in, I mean the cliffhangers, not the show, the cliffhangers. The cliffhangers in WandaVision were trash. They were terrible. You did not know when to cut it off at the right time. Falcon and the Winter Soldier got significantly better, especially the end of episode 1 was absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
Loki, the first 2 have not missed so far. And this one in particular is by far the best of any Marvel show we've gotten so far. I dig it, but we're going to get more in depth about it. I'm going to hand it over to you, Sasha. I'm going to see what your thoughts are about this.
So my thoughts are, I think the initial excitement of like having that first episode over, and I rewatched it between when we like did our live last week and this one. So I feel like I got a really good grasp of like what everything that was addressed in that episode. Now I really want to go back and rewatch this episode because I feel like the information dump in a good way. Like, and that's what I talked about in my review was that the way the information was presented was we were learning things along with the characters. So it didn't feel like it's just like, oh yeah, you remember Mobius, that time off screen where we were talking about this and blah, blah, blah. Like they're testing theories and things in real time for us to see as an audience and learn along with them, which I think is super excellent. And I totally agree. The cliffhangers have both been fantastic and they've been presented in a way that I think this show really understands what television can do for the MCU, because there's been a lot of like discussion about it used to be a drama was 45 minutes if it was an hour long, and then the sitcom was 22 to 23 minutes with, you know, 30 minutes if you add for commercials and stuff. I think WandaVision relied a little too heavily on that. Like it used the sitcom mode and genre like very creatively, but then they stuck a little too hard in the editing with that time frame. And then with Winter Soldier, they had pretty consistently like an hour-long episode, 50-ish minutes. Here, I know this one is only like 2 minutes longer than the first one, but I totally agree. I think the extra time in the editing room for this one is definitely being felt. Like, I'm not saying these were major changes. It could have been this way before either of the other shows released, but I just feel like they're learning from their mistakes as each of them go, listening to feedback, which I think is really nice to know that something that we all love is listening to us, our complaints, our concerns about the program. And I just loved how this episode really focused on Mobius and Loki's dynamic, which I guess we'll get into when we get into more of the spoilers later. I think that has the potential to carry this show for at least like 2 or 3 seasons. Like, and that's, I'm just really hoping, and I said this in my review, so don't want to sound like a broken record if anyone has seen it, but like, I think this one is going to be like the one that's the first like multi-season, just because I feel like Falcon and Winter Soldier, they don't want to like Captain America is such a big figure. They don't want to like waste him on TV. And they've already announced the 4th film, but I think this Loki has the potential to just keep going in TV form. And like you said, there's such a good precedent of detective TV shows and like buddy comedy TV shows. This has all of those elements plus the Marvel stuff. And because it exists in this realm where time doesn't function the same way, they don't have to really abide by the rules. They can kind of use it as their filler if there's mistakes other places, but still be intentional about it. So that's what I loved about this episode. I think it just continued what I loved about the first one, but really emphasized like this is what we're trying to achieve with this show. So, but you're still like on your toes the whole time.
Absolutely, and I mean, I couldn't have said it by myself. I mean, it's just great breakdown by Sasha. But it's going back to your point about like the multi-seasonal thing. That's definitely something that's going to happen. I don't think they have set it up. You don't bring in Owen Wilson to do one 6-episode run.
Yeah.
That's not happening. And I know it's not just you and me. I think it's probably pretty close to a general consensus that he is already a fan favorite character. You're not bringing him in just for that. That ain't happening. And now I know it's the MCU and they can bring in all the big people and just kind of use them at their will. But when you make a fan favorite character, they ain't going anywhere. So I completely agree with what you're saying. But let's get into spoilers. This is what it is, a spoiler review. Where do you want to start? Do you just want to start at the back? I mean, do we just
let's work from the back to the let's do it that way.
All right, we're going right from the back. Holy Mother of God, Lady Loki has entered the chat. Lady Loki's entered the chat, y'all. What a great reveal. I think the tension that was there, because Loki is fighting, as Lady Loki is, taking over these other people, they're fighting each other, and Loki's having this conversation, and we think, it's just another Loki, it's just another random Loki guy. And then the hood comes off. We see it's Lady Loki, and I'm like, holy mother of God! Oh my God! And there are theories, and we'll talk about those in a little bit. But just the way that they set up the next episode, we don't know what the heck's going on.
Yeah.
It's so great, but I want to get your thoughts. What are your thoughts on this final, I'd say maybe 10 minutes of the episode? Because I think it's absolutely fantastic.
I think it's great. I think the way that they build, and I didn't even think about it until now, but all of the people that she goes into, with the exception of the TVA agent, are all men. So that's definitely, like you were saying, all the variants they showed in their huddle were men or male versions of Loki. And I think we all as fans kind of knew. And that's why I think this reveal so early is so great, because I'm definitely on board for things when it's ooh, we don't know who the masked hooded figure is. They're going, because I think that builds a lot of suspense. And I think you can reveal that too early and it'd be a problem. Here, I think it would be okay, if we're going to go for 5 more episodes and be it's just another dude Loki, we don't really want to have to deal with that. I am super interested in where that's going to go. I think the last 10 minutes was fantastic. I think trying to figure out the plan of what's going on and trying to I think the great thing about having Loki in a show by yourself is you're trying to figure out what his presented good guy role is, but you're also trying to figure out what his other motive is behind
what his allegiances are. What his
exactly
really are. Yeah.
Right. Is he saying to Lady Loki oh, I want to help you, I'm trying to double cross the TVA, because he's actually trying to double cross the TVA? I don't believe that either, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But I think that was such a good reveal, just to have her take off the hood, only say a few words just to give you a little taste of what's to come. But I think the way that this left us was with pretty much no idea what's going to happen next I like it, because it deviates from the first episode, because that was kind of closed and contained of okay, we've got all our information on Loki, there's something else going on. Now this one, it's he followed her, okay, where are we going next? Because the show's called Loki, it's not called Mobius, so we know we're going to be with him. So I thought it was an excellent finale to the episode, but I loved everything building up to it too.
Yeah, and I think it like you said, the first episode was really contained. The second episode was pretty contained as well. And it's not even just the setting; it's also the people he's with. It's contained, market, because he's with the TVA people. He ain't going anywhere. So have that sense of just being contained, being not really kind of claustrophobic, not really able to do anything, because he's always surrounded by the TVA and things like that. He goes into this portal.
Right. There's more options.
Now we're in a whole new world now. So it's just, I'm so excited to see where they go with this, because, not only is he off on the run now, but elephant in the room, all hell is about to break loose.
Yes.
With the sacred timeline in the TVA, because another spoiler for y'all that haven't seen it, she sets off, I call them time bombs. I know that's not really what they are, but I just call
it's a good term.
She just sends all of these time bombs into everywhere, and oh my God, what is going to happen? Perfect way to set up more seasons. That's all I'm gonna say. We'll get into that.
Exactly.
We'll get into that in theories later, but how we hit our catastrophe in the second episode.
Yeah.
And I think that's perfect pacing. I think that's perfect
so too.
Because we are only getting one episode a week. So it's like, get to the point. Get to the point, and then let's see how we're going to fix it. That was a strategic choice that they made, and I really, really liked it because now all hell's broken loose. I wouldn't say we've reached our climax because obviously we've got 4 episodes left, but we've reached a really, really big tipping off point for the rest of this series. What are your thoughts on all of that?
I think for that, I hadn't thought about it that exact way, but I totally agree because I think the thing I was thinking was like, okay, when we've been presented with Miss Minutes in the first episode telling us like, hey, like we're like there's a threat of a multiverse if we don't like do our jobs and stuff. I was like, I really don't want the last shot of this show to be Loki and Mobius having defeated this Loki variant and looking at each other like, well, crap, we didn't do it right. And like seeing that line like go up and hit the multiverse level. And then just that be like the ending of the show, just because I'd be like, okay, it would make sense to say like, this is how we achieve the multiverse for then Doctor Strange and Madness. But I was like, I just feel like that's too high stakes to leave the show off with. Also, it wouldn't be much explanation. So I honestly feel like now makes sense. And I will now be interested to see how this fits in the timeline. And I briefly touched on this in my video and then had to cut it out because I like didn't complete the thought. But I think this series is going to be like we keep being told time runs differently here. Time runs differently here. It's for all time, always. Like we're still trying to figure out the sacred timeline. So I kind of have this belief that this show, and we talked about this a little bit last week, this show, potentially No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness will be occurring somewhat in the same like human years, like Avengers years. Those will occur at the same time just because I think it would be potential for this to like complete the multiverse and then somehow see that show up in Multiverse of Madness of like, okay, here's what happened on Earth while you guys were in the TVA trying to figure out and solve this stuff on a high above level. Let's go back to down to the ground level. Cause I think that's what the MCU is trying to manage at this point. We have these really spacey, like all-powerful things that exist in the universe now. The Eternals, the TVA, Wanda can create basically an alternate reality sort of situation with the Hex. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on. But then we also have our Falcon and the Winter Soldier who are running around, just trying to like deal with the diplomatic side of things. Yeah, exactly. Deal with like foreign relations. So like having both sides of those are so essential to what the MCU is, but I think it will be a balancing game for the rest of the MCU of like back and forth. So that's I agree with you. I think it's great pacing. I think it's great that we're getting to the point. It makes me feel as a viewer that they're extremely confident with what they have planned, because to reveal something like that, like you could hold your cards on that for 6 episodes. You really could. And write around it, beat around the bush, have a big like exposition dump in the last like, multiverse, we're screwed. But like the fact that they're giving it to us now makes me feel like the twists and turns they're going to take to like do the rest of the season is like, this isn't even the best thing that we have planned.
Yeah. I mean, that cliffhanger literally could have been the cliffhanger for the end of the season.
It could.
It literally, like they could have, but they gave it to us at the end of episode 2. And I will say, I was sneaky last week. In our theory section, I said, oh yeah, this is going to be what starts off the multiverse, because I'd already seen this episode.
Yeah, you'd already knew.
So I was like, oh, well, this is how it's going to start the multiverse. But yeah, I mean, I love that they made that decision, because it is, like you said, completely just echoing what you said. The best is yet to come. This is only the first thing, which means we still have 4 episodes of like, what is going on? So I love everything about that finale in general. Just seeing like, we get the scene with the monitor, just like with all the timelines splitting off, and then it's just like, oh, it's over. And I'm like,
yeah,
that is how you do it. That's how you do it.
And they're all freaking out and like running around like crazy. And I think I just think there's so many options of how they want to explore it now. If they contain it one by one and they're hopping around, if they go to this huge event with the timekeepers and like shut it all down. Like there's so many options of how to fix it, and there's just so much story like options and potential there. So I think that's what has me excited for the rest of the season. Not that I didn't love this episode, but it did such a great job of being an entertaining episode and also like the spark for the rest of the season.
Absolutely. I completely agree. And they're going to fail. They're going to, because Secret Wars is coming. Secret Wars is coming. They teased a multiversal war is I believe what Miss Minute said. That's Secret Wars. Secret Wars is coming. The Russo brothers are going to come back to direct Secret Wars. It's going to be the next Infinity War and Endgame. It's going to happen. So I'm sorry, guys, if you want them to win, they're not. It's going to fail. But I just head over heels, just so impressed by what they've been able to accomplish. Even a week later, I'm like, what did they do? What did they do? So it's just absolutely fantastic. But let's talk about some of the other stuff we liked. I loved the conversations with. I love the sleuthing. I love the detective work.
I do too.
We already kind of covered that. I love watching Loki because I don't think people give Loki enough credit. I think they think he's kind of dumb. He's not very smart. And that's kind of how he's been written. Granted that he's not the smartest. He's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. But he's pretty smart. And watching him, and now who knows? Again, time works differently at the TVA. He could have been there for a year and a half. But for him to figure out where Loki's hiding, Lady Loki's hiding. That sequence, that montage was just so much fun to watch. So, and I know you talked a lot about it in your review as well, but I just want to get your thoughts here. I mean, I know you liked that. I mean, what did you like so much about it?
I like it for the same reason as you. Like, I think people have a very easy time writing off Loki as like, oh, you just like liking the hot bad guy, or you just like the fact that he's, or like just writing him off as a character that's only after power, which like, yeah, that's obviously been a lot of his gain and stuff, but people writing him off as like, he's so dumb. He doesn't understand like how much of a pawn he is in this whole, like the Infinity Saga. Like he is the first like pawn that Thanos sends out in his like eventual war to conquer everything. So like he's literally a pawn. And I think people can dismiss him really easily to just be like, oh, he's just a lame villain. And he's like, sort of like, he just tricks everyone and like, oh, they kill him and bring him back and kill him and bring him back and blah, blah, blah. So it's easy to dismiss him. But I love getting to spend the time with him that we do, because like, again, I can't like express enough how much 2013 and 2014, like Tumblr, like MCU people that have like formed like fan opinion of like who Loki is and like drawn from the comics and like been like, no, like this is who he is. And that obviously is like something you take to the theater with you and you're like, oh yes, like he would totally do this. But I feel like in this show, all of that has been written into his character, and like Tom Hiddleston is actually like performing that out because he has the time in the room to do that. Like he's the shining star and he's like the main person. And I totally agree. Like I think the smart stuff is like, you think that because he's a trickster, that's plans always get foiled because he's like the bad guy, like that. Oh yeah, he's not really as smart as he like is cracked up to be. But in this, like if he was, it's almost one of those things where it's like, if you use your powers for good, they'd be so much stronger. But because you use them for evil, like you're ultimately going to be defeated. So I think for like Loki, like it's almost like he's been put in a box and been like, you can create as much chaos in this box as you want to, but like there's rules. So like Mobius has him like working overtime to like accomplish something. And I love the constant like reference to the timekeepers and getting an audience for them. You can very much see like what is motivating him to help, which I think makes it feel like, oh, they're not just writing him to be like Mobius's like henchman. Like he's doing this because he's got free will. And they even have that great conversation about free will and stuff like at the lunch table. But yeah, I think I just really like spending time with the characters. And because I think when there's big action pieces, not that those aren't well written or well directed, but you don't get to feel the story as much, the motivations of the characters. But like that shot when he reads the file about Asgard being destroyed in Ragnarok, and he has almost the same reaction as when he sees himself die in the first episode. Like that tells you so much more about that character than you ever need to know in any other scene. So that's what I love about like spending quiet quiet time with them in the TVA sleuthing in the library.
Yeah, and I was literally going to bring that scene up that you just mentioned, and I'll give my thoughts on that as well. I love that we are getting emotional sad boy Loki. I love it.
Yes.
I know it sounds bad, but I love it because if you really think about it, of really anyone in the MCU, Loki is kind of one of the most misunderstood characters when it comes to emotion, because we are always seeing him as this madman that is just out for anger. And we touch on this a lot in the first episode. Like, you know, we had that conversation with Mobius, but we get to see that even further here. It wasn't just a one-off. He wasn't just putting on a show. Like, he sees this file of the people of Asgard, who he always talked down to, always thought were smaller than him. But then he sees what happens and he's like, nah, deep down, like that hurts.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I know we're going to get more of that too, because in that trailer that everyone was like, oh my God, it's Natasha, they're on Vormir, which it's not. It's Lady Loki. Sorry. I'm sorry to break your heart. But that looks like, I would bet you that's a scene where he's just, he's talking to her and like, yo, it ain't all it's cropped up to be, you know. I don't know. It's just a guess, but
yeah,
we're going to get more of that. And I like that because, again, it all comes back to kind of what we've both been talking about, is that Loki really has just been the side piece. I wanted to try to find a proper way to say that. He's always been the side piece. He really has been. He's never had we don't know, like, we think we know him, but we really don't, because there hasn't really been any kind of characterization of his character. So I love that happens. I love that we're getting this opportunity, because he is a lot of people's favorite villain. But is he really? Like, once we really dive into who he is as a person, is he really a villain, or is he just a misunderstood pawn that has had a really tough life, has, you know, identity issues, and is just kind of letting it all out? And I think there's a lot of depth here. And I really like the way that they're writing this. And there's depth in all of these shows. You know, I will on WandaVision as much as I want, because I think it is extremely overrated and extremely hyped for a show that it is. I still give it an 88, so y'all calm the heck down. But it does open up a very interesting conversation about grief. I talked about that in my review. I love that they went down that path. Falcon and Winter Soldier, it talks a lot about race and seeing, you know, a black man be Captain America, and the world that especially our country is living in today. It talks a lot about those themes. And then it also talks about PTSD, trauma, trying to get over, you know, trying to get over your own personal battles with Bucky. And now here, you know, we're getting, you know, just someone that is dealing with identity issues and just all different types of just mental things. And Marvel does a great job at, one, making it for kids. I mean, the kids won't understand the deeper meanings for all of that stuff,
right?
But for the adults, like a you or a me or anyone else that can truly appreciate the writing that is being done here and the characterization for the character. And I, again, love that, because it really, really just, it's just fantastic. The writing here is so good.
It really is such strong writing. And I love that we're able to see that in the TV shows, because TV, even though now it's way more cinematic than it's ever been, like, TV is definitely like a writer's medium. And so getting to have them shine in that way is really exciting. But I also think, and I only just want to touch on this just because it popped into my head, I remember when Walking Dead first started, and somebody said, like, why would you want to watch a show about, like, zombies? And it was like, it's about the people who are living through these circumstances and how they react to that. It's not about, like, the zombies so much. It, like, that's just the sprinkling, the icing on the cake. And I feel like with Marvel, I feel very strongly the same way. Like, this, people who really love Marvel are not, obviously we love the superhero side, but we're not just diehard superhero fans. We like it because of the way these characters have, like, we've grown with these characters. We've seen their arcs. We've seen the decisions they've made that may or may not reflect, like, our own in a similar type situation. Like I always say, they're ordinary people in spectacular circumstances, or like extraordinary circumstances or whatever. And I think, like, with Loki, with the fact that he's been a secondary character this whole time, like, he's been interesting because we as fans have been able to make up things that we want about him because we haven't seen it on screen. But now we're really getting to spend like true canonical time with him and see like who he really is as a character. And I totally agree. And I think the other reason that scene is so important is to remind us like the Loki that we have seen in the entire sacred timeline thus far is like those are things that are supposed to happen, but we've experienced them. So like we know about Ragnarok. So the first time that gets brought up this episode, we're like, oh yeah, Ragnarok, when we think of the whole movie. But like he is a 2012 Loki looking at something that would have happened 5 years ish in the future for him that he's never experienced. Like imagine just being told about something that would have happened to you that you've in some way been able to escape. Like that is just so, I don't know. It was just that reminder of like, he doesn't know these things that we're used to. Like the way we would explain it to a friend is not a way Loki would understand his own experience as Loki. And so like, I don't know. I just think all of that being written in that one scene and the way that Tom Hiddleston has performed every single moment of this show has just been spectacular.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any complaints so far. I don't. I really don't. And now, is it going to get 100 out of 100 when I review it? No. You know, there's obviously little flaws that we can nitpick, and I will once the series ends. But if we're talking overarching general complaints so far in the first 2 episodes, I don't have any. I really don't. I think the performances are stellar. I think the writing is absolutely amazing, and the way that they're able to humanize this god and this mischievous guy. And you know, it's like you talked a lot about Sasha, you know, the set design and the vibe that they've made through that, and the costumes and in everything through that. I mean, it's just all done so meticulously, so carefully, and it's just so damn good. And guys, we really haven't even had any action yet. We had like one tiny little scene at the end of episode 2, which really wasn't even a fight. It was Loki getting his ass kicked. So it's like, and if this is the best that we've gotten so far, and there hasn't really been any action yet, that's just a testament to how good the writing and directing and everything else really is. Because I've seen a consensus so far. It's a lot of people's favorites so far in the first 2 episodes. So it's just a testament to Marvel and how much they're able to do. So I really enjoyed it. Do you have any closing thoughts? I don't think we're going to make this review, you know, an hour long, but what are your closing thoughts?
I think I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say. I really do just enjoy, I really want to rewatch this episode because I made a joke about it in my video, but like the amount of time travel information that I have, like just swirling my head, trying to figure it out, like scene. How everything is going on. Like there's just all this stuff. So I'm trying to figure that out. And yeah, I just think this series, like for all the reasons we've said, the dialogue is fantastic. The character growth is fantastic. Like I just really enjoy going to all these new places with the MCU, but the way that they've been able to make it, like you said, with the central team, Mobius and Loki's team, like making it feel contained, making it feel like we're still in the TVA, even when we're in a 1985 Renaissance fair or Roxcart in 2050 in Alabama, which if anyone ever sees a Roxcart company crop up after this, we all need to be warned that something's going to happen. So like, yeah. So yeah, no, I'm excited just to see where the rest of this series goes. I think for this episode, I really liked it. I'm just like almost in shock still at like everything that happened.
Yeah, I completely echo. The possibilities now are truly endless. Where's he going? He's going to follow Lady Loki, but where are they going? Where's Mobius? Where are they going to end up? I mean, the freaking multiverse is coming now, and I want it. So, like, what's going to happen there? I want to see the timekeepers, or the lizards, as Loki calls them.
I know.
I'm very excited to see how this all plays out because, you know, Feige never caps. You know, there's no cap when Kevin, which is so funny because he always wears a baseball cap. But there's no cap. There's no cap when he says
that's the only cap.
That's the only cap that Feige's got. There's no cap with Kevin Feige. When he says something, you gotta listen because he said this show was going to be the most consequential of any show so far. He ain't capping. He's right. We're in episode 2, and stuff's already happening. So I'm very excited. Episode 3. I'm going to get to experience it with everyone now. It's going to be so much fun. But yeah, I mean, those are my final thoughts, but that's it for the review, guys. Let's get into some of the comments. We'll do one more. We'll do our theory segment a little bit later at the end. Like I said, this isn't going to be as long of a live stream as our other one, which was a great one, by the way. If you are here from there, thank you. Had a great time.
That was a blast.
Oh, so much fun. And guys, again, I didn't publicize it a lot today just because I didn't have time because I was working and, things like that, important life things. But we are like, I know Sasha said someone in her comments had asked, are we live again today? We're going to be live every week for Loki. Like that was not a one-off. Every Wednesday night when Loki comes out for the next, will to be 4 weeks after this. So for another month, every Wednesday night we will be live. Even if I tweet it or not, like we will be live. So just be ready for that. But let's see some comments. Corey Jones. Hey all. Hey, how's it going, man? I think it might be your first time in here. So what's up? Michaela. Hey guys. What's up, Michaela? Welcome back. Welcome back. Ricardo. Hey, only watched half of the episode. I'll watch the second half and 2 back in. All right. Have fun. I know that came a while ago.
Enjoy it, Ricardo.
They're saying hi. Marvel Studio. That was really bad. Hey guys, love the episode. Excited to hear from you guys. Yes, so much fun. We're here. Loki proves that it can do a lot of twists outside of the content of the MCU. I think I know what he's saying. And what I think he's saying is we're really not in the MCU right now. We're just kind of in our own thing.
Yeah. And
it's still doing twists. Yes. Completely agree with that. This is how you do a spinoff, right?
Yeah. I also think it's interesting. Like I know we have the upcoming like Loki presidential run sort of thing that's been teased in the trailers that I know is like kind of directly from the comics.
Yeah.
But I feel like I like the fact that a lot of the series, which I mean, I think if people can recognize it in this series, maybe they'll realize like it's one thing to adapt directly like a novel into a movie or something and take your creative spin in the new medium, but it's totally another to like try to encapsulate all these different things, like the essence of what a character is over all these different comic runs, and then also still make something completely new with it. Because like Loki's been a character for so long that it's like they could, if they wanted to, there's so much comic stuff to just be like copy paste, like we'll film this, blah, blah, blah. But they're just, it feels totally original. And that's really exciting.
Yeah, I really dig it. Game of Thrones is a perfect example. They were right at the finish line, then they fell on their face. That's all I'm going to say. Hi, Sasha and Jack. Hey, 123 Rock fan. What's good? Do you wait till the end of the series to do a Letterboxd review, or do you guys do it as you go? I just made an account on there. LOL.
Welcome to Letterboxd, Michaela.
Welcome to Letterboxd. You've opened up a huge rabbit hole. You know, it's funny. Sidebar about Letterboxd. Before I found Letterboxd, I was documenting all the movies I was watching on my phone notes. Like, just as I went.
I did that for a bit.
I'm like, what the heck is this?
I know. I used to use this app called Must, which I would still say is a good app. And I think it threw me off when I used Letterboxd because Letterboxd does 5 stars with a half-star option, whereas Must did like, it was 10 stars, but like it had different emojis. So like that's where I kind of came up with my like ranking system for films and like have transferred that. And then I found Letterboxd probably like December time. And I have to say, Michaela, you have opened a door. Jack is right, because like last night I was watching a movie. Halfway through the movie, I was like ready to go on Letterboxd and like write my thing up. It's just become an impulse now of like the first thing I do when I finish a movie is reach for my phone and do my Letterboxd.
The first thing I do when I go into a movie is go into my Letterboxd, see what all the people I follow have said about it. Like, what's the review, what's the rating, like all that stuff. It's a go-to app. It's on the front page of my phone apps. I mean, it's if you're a movie fan, that's it. Okay, but I wait till the end of the series because the philosophy I've had, and I said this in my first WandaVision, when WandaVision started, I'm treating these like longer movies. So I do count them as movies. I do. I have them in my MCU rank, and I have them in my movies of 2021 ranking. I do, because they're longer movies, but I wait till the end. I'm not going to do it on an episode-to-episode basis. I want to encapsulate it as a whole. So that's how I do it.
So I actually don't do the TV shows on Letterboxd. I totally understand why people do it, because I totally agree. Like when it's more of a limited series format or something like this, that it really does run like a 6-hour movie or something like that, but I just don't do them. Just, I don't know. I guess it's just like a personal preference that I just want to keep like that there. So and also with like, I don't know, because it just gets muddy for me with the fact of like, it's like something like Loki is coming out for 6 weeks and I'm doing reviews about it every week. But I also do that for High School Musical, the musical, the series. 2 very different shows, but they come out on the same platform weekly. So like I just in my head have a hard time like if it's TV and it's pitched as a TV show and it comes out weekly, it's a TV show. If I'm sitting there for a certain amount of time, it's a movie. You know what I mean? Like if it's completed. So that's the only reason. It's so dumb and that's such like a just quirk that I have, but like I don't do it. So if you're looking on my letterbox and you don't see like WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, that is the only reason why.
123 Rock fan, what do you guys think of Miss Minutes walking around? Probably the most Pixar-like thing I've ever seen in the MCU. I love Miss Minutes. I think it's a hilarious thing.
I love Miss Minutes.
I know that Sasha is a big fan of Miss Minutes.
I'm a big fan. Hold on, let me pull it out.
It's right bag. Here. I saw it. It's absolutely awesome.
My like boyfriend's little sister she painted this tote bag and I was like, let's make one. So I went to Michael's, bought us new ones, and then I made a little like Miss Minutes one. My oval is a little off, but I was just like, you know what? Like if Disney is not going to recognize how much I love Loki into my PR box, totally not big enough for that. Totally understand why they didn't do it. But like if they're not going to do it, then I'll do it for myself. So I love Miss Minutes. I don't know if it's just because her cute little Southern accent. I don't know if it's just because she's just like animated, and I love that he was like, are you alive or are you a cartoon? And she's like, I'm kind of both. Like just I love that she's this totally new thing, and it makes the show feel unique, and I love that.
It's Timmy Turner. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
That's who the voice actress is. It's Timmy Turner, which if you guys know who I'm talking about, that's the throwback, and you're the real ones. My childhood right there. Yeah, I don't know how to get a PR box either. Disney, nope. Hit a brother up.
Hit us up.
I think the show is written by the writers of Rick and Morty, upcoming Multiverse of Madness. Yes.
So Michael Waldron is the head writer and producer. He's a UGA grad. Go Dogs. Sorry, gotta shout my guy out when I can.
We're gonna shout the Dogs because today is a very sad day for ASU, and if you know, you know. I'm not gonna get into it.
But yes, Michael Waldron he started on Rick and Morty, and now he's doing this, but he's also done Multiverse of Madness, which I heard recently. Jack, was it you that told me this? That it was going to be a horror. Doctor Strange was going to be like horror.
It got rewritten.
Now the director, and it's been rewritten. So I'm assuming now that Michael Waldron is the new writer that was brought on.
I think it's him and Raimi. I think what I heard was Raimi. I don't know if Raimi wrote it, but I heard he was very hands-on.
Okay. Because that would make sense to me then if they were like, actually, we're like where we're going with this Loki thing. We're switching up directors anyways. Let's connect the two. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I love him.
That decision, that's how you do it. So other studios, take notes. That's how you do it. Is the actress anyone famous? Maybe Lady Loki. Anyone famous? I didn't recognize her.
So her name is Sophia DiMartino, but I don't know exactly what else she has been in.
So the actress Lady Loki is only known from the 2019 movie Yesterday in the AMC show Into the Badlands. I haven't seen yet.
She was also in a show called Flowers for 2 years, but I think that's a UK show, which no shade to any UK shows, but I feel like that's not as widely anything other than Doctor Who. I feel like we in America don't really know much about, or Sherlock. All those years ago.
Peaky Blinders, which I'm about to start because I finally finished Sons of Anarchy last weekend.
Oh my goodness.
I literally binged the entire season in 2 days, 14 episodes. I watched 11 episodes on Sunday from the beginning of the morning to the end of the day. And then I did the last 2 Monday night after I got home from work. What a freaking experience. I'm going to make a video on it. Like not just a review. I'm making a full, I'm making like a video essay on that ish. Absolutely incredible. No spoilers in the chat, please, because it ends in a way. This is a good question. Do you think the Timekeepers are going to be good guys or bad guys?
A good question.
Neutral AF.
Yes. What is that? Like, there used to be charts, and it would be like, there's like chaotic good and chaotic bad, and then there's like a neutral, or then you can like be different degrees. And I see them for the MCU all the time of like people, but I definitely think they're going to be extremely like neutral and kind of boring. Like I think they're being used more as like a plot device, which I'm okay with. Like I don't need them to be actual characters like in the show sort of situation. I definitely think I don't think they're like bad guys. The one thing I had in a hypothesis here, which do I save the theory for later or do I
think we save it because I also have a theory about the time troopers.
Then we'll save it. But yeah, for now, I'm pretty positive that I think it's just a neutral type situation. Like, I really do think they're not, like, in anyone's favor, good or bad. I mean, I guess in some ways, if the Avengers are supposed to defeat Thanos, and that is, like, the sacred timeline, that's what's meant to happen, I guess they're good because they're what's supposed to happen is the Avengers winning. But, like, I don't know. But then we also lose Tony. So, you know, it's neutral. It balances it out.
Big sad. Okay. Marvel episode 2 ranking. Mine is Loki, Wanda, Falcon. I didn't like Falcon until later in the season. Mine real quick. Loki, Falcon, Wanda. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you're getting into the action. You're taking on the Flag Smashers. You're meeting John Walker. You're getting all that background. Fan-freaking-tastic episode. Wanda, it's another sitcom one that doesn't do anything for the story. And Vision is drunk on gum the entire time. It's funny, but
yeah, mine would be exactly the same. This is actually not a Loki stream. This is a Jack expresses everything he feels about WandaVision. I think for me, even though I would have gone to bat for the first, I really like the very first Wanda sitcom, like the very first episode. I really like that. It's got the dark, like, dinner scene where the boss starts choking and like she just controls him, so there's what the heck is that, and like all that kind of stuff. The second episode I did not really like that much. It's the magic show, and at that time I didn't really know. I knew that Rambo was going to be in the show. Like I knew that child from Captain Marvel is going to be an adult in this show, but I didn't recognize her as Geraldine. And so it wasn't until the third episode that I was kind of like, okay, maybe I know more of what's going on here. So for me, I would do it the same way. Loki, Falcon, WandaVision, just because I think Falcon and Winter Soldier's second episode was probably my favorite episode, one of my favorite episodes of the whole show, the 6 episode run, because it's the first time they were together. There's that great line about the Hobbit from all the like TV spots and stuff. And then obviously all the work, I think the grunt work of John Walker was done there. And I think that's great.
100%. Hashtag send Sasha PR box. Do it.
Thank you, Michaela. Thank you. I'm trying. I would love one. That is my dream sometime. If I would die a happy person if I were to be able to get a PR box someday. Obviously, that's not the end goal in life, but like PR box would be pretty sick. Apparently, they reach out to you. So I'm just trying to remind everyone, like, hey, I'm open to it. Like,
yeah. I mean, like, I know how to get screeners, but like, I don't know how to get PR boxes. So, PR box. If you could get
a PR box for one, Spider-Man, doesn't have to just be Marvel, but that would be it.
That's my most anticipated movie this year. So 100%.
I
don't know what it would be, because I would say another, like, there are other films I really like, but like, it would definitely be MCU because they bring it.
Yeah.
What I've seen, like, they bring it.
The Loki one was really good. Yeah. The Loki PR box that I saw some people get. I think mine would definitely be Hawkeye, which I'm hoping still comes out this year. But yeah, no, Hawkeye would definitely be the one I would want. I mean, my aesthetic is purple. If we haven't learned that yet. Also, it's also purple because I don't know how to change my light back. It's not connected to the Wi-Fi. So that's part of the reason why. But purple. Yeah, purple's my thing. So yeah.
Yeah. Met Tara Strong at Comic-Con. She's ridiculously nice. She looks very nice from what I've heard.
I would love to meet her and just have her say, hey, y'all to me. And that would just make me forever.
Miss Minutes.
She's adorable.
Legend and influenced a lot of voice actors. She was the original actress for Harley Quinn and Raven. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She has done a lot. If you look her up, like, she's done a lot of things that you know and you've heard. She's probably done. Yeah. I'm telling y'all, Timmy Turner.
Oh, I think Fairly Odd Parents.
That's why I kept saying Timmy Turner, because she voices Timmy Turner. Yeah.
There you go.
I would die for a Doctor Strange one, to be honest. Yeah.
A Doctor Strange one would be so trippy. Like, imagine the things they could put in that box. Yeah. Just like, that'd be amazing.
can't believe in July we have Loki and Black Widow content in the same week. Yeah.
I know.
Because we'll have Wednesday Loki and then Thursday night Black Widow.
I wonder, honestly, I wonder if that's something now that they're wanting to change to Wednesdays so that their TV shows are not competing with the movies.
I think it's a good call.
Because I remember, because that's something I hadn't thought about, but I remember when the Mandalorian episode came out the day before Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, that's
and everyone was like, you need to watch it. You need to watch it. And that was like, I feel like it makes way more sense to do it Wednesday and miss out on a couple people. The only thing is, like, I feel like the water cooler effect of like going back to work and talking about a show isn't the same as like if it drops Friday and then everyone by Monday morning has pretty much seen it or is intentionally avoiding spoilers. Whereas if it's Wednesday, I don't know. I'm just on the fence about this decision.
Or you do it Sunday night, because then you get the hype of all the movies throughout the weekend, and then Sunday night you do the TV show, and then Monday morning water cooler, you're talking about the TV show.
Yeah.
I will say one thing, and this is regarding movies. We're going to take a sidebar, which we're not in a segment right now, so it's fine. We can talk about it. It's not coming soon.
Bro, trust me, it's not a source.
It's not coming. This is a very trustworthy source. He's a writer for one of the big online publications. The trailer has not been sent to theaters yet. It's not coming. And I think I know why. Because I think Loki is going. There's spoilers for Loki in the trailer. It's not coming. Bro, trust me. Bro, trust me is not a source. I said that at work and I got a chuckle. So
no, it's totally true. I also feel like these people, the talkers and tweeters, as you refer to them, Jack, I feel like they're a lot like the people who are like always trying to be like, this is the next doomsday. Like, this is when the world ends. Like, it's like at the first time you say it, it's like maybe it's got some like, you don't really have a source, but like, you know,
boy who cried wolf.
Yeah, you're being a little careful about it. You're like, okay, sure, I'll retweet this chain email or resend this chain email or whatever. And then the second time they do it, you're like, no. And the third time you do it, you're like, really? No. And now at this point, I'm like, Peter Rabbit has come and gone. Also, if I really think about it, Peter Rabbit is much younger audience than even like, I would say the young end of a Spider-Man movie. No.
Now, I would understand if they pull like a Phantom Menace where the trailer was in front of this really crappy movie that no one cared about, and it did fantastic at the box office because people bought tickets just to go see the trailer in theaters.
Yeah. In fairness, though, Phantom Menace is a children's movie. That's a conversation for another day, but it is a movie for children.
That
is my opinion. It is a movie for children. That is the only people that enjoy it. It, with the exception of the Duel of the Fates scene at the very beginning, there's not you don't need that for the rest of the movie. Yeah, those are my thoughts on Phantom Menace. Star Wars people know that I'm an MCU person because I don't know as much about Star Wars. But yeah, that is my strong opinion. So yeah, no, Peter Rabbit was not going to be where they put this. Now it makes sense to be around the week that WandaVision comes out. Or now, Black Widow.
Why is it? That's the logical. Because
that makes sense.
You will almost be done with Loki. You got like a week left. And yes, play it in front of Black Widow because everyone's going to go see Black Widow.
Yeah.
Black Widow's going to make over $1 billion. It's happening.
And for the people like Jack, you were saying at the very beginning, if people didn't catch this, not a lot of people are buying tickets for Black Widow because Disney Plus is pushing this premiere access thing, which is totally fine. But that would be an incentive to be like, go to the theater because we're going to put it there. That's the first time you're going to be able to see it. Because if it comes out Thursday, right? Say they don't drop the trailer online until like Monday or something as an incentive.
They would do that.
That would be Disney and Sony's deal of like, you can have your trailer out, let our other movie do well, and then you can release it Monday.
I would be so mad. Just for everyone at home.
Yeah.
Trust me, bro, is not a source. Your homework for next week. You write this 100 times on a piece of paper and you tweet it to me. Okay? Not you, Sasha, because you get it. But all the talkers and tweeters at home. Bro, trust me is not a source. A random Twitter account with 5 followers saying, "Oh, my uncle works at a movie theater and he's seen the trailer." That's a bro.
Why do you guys all
me.
have uncles working in movie theaters?
A bro, trust me. It's not legit. Okay. My rant for the week is over.
There you go. Got it done. It's on record.
Do y'all think we'll see other Marvel characters cameos, variants, or just going back in time? I don't think we will see anyone, and I hope and pray to God we don't see anyone.
Yeah. I honestly feel this way. The only thing, okay, and I'll just say it now because Jack has said the opposite of what I'm going to say. And I know I just want to prove, I want in my heart of hearts, because I'm a little bit of a narcissist in this way, I want to go back to all the people that commented, it's Lady Loki on my Loki trailer thing, which was the first thing that ever just took off on my channel. I want to go back and be like, oh, no, you were wrong. That was the episode that aired the week after Black Widow came out. It's Natasha. Like, I want that so bad. In my heart of
cap emojis.
Yeah, just go back and just be like, okay, you clearly don't have a ticket to Black Widow this weekend, whatever, which is so immature of me. I also don't 100% believe it, but I also feel like, we've already had the Infinity Stone kind of situation that we talked about last week of those being written off. I'm not a fan of the idea of Marvel just bringing back all their characters and just being like, well, okay, here's an option to do it. I think it cheapens the death. You can say whatever, oh, it's not really Tony or something, which I don't think he's even someone that's on the table for this. But like, say you bring in Robert Downey Jr. Like, that to me, just, it's like the last time you should see him in the MCU, and I feel very strongly about this, is in that last Endgame recording and anything he pops up in legacy-wise and Far From Home.
100%. I am the biggest Tony Stark Iron Man stan ever. I cried when he died.
Same.
I don't want him back. Leave him dead, because that will tarnish the legacy if you bring him back. Leave that mother effer dead. Leave him dead.
Yeah, totally
Trust
agree.
me, bro. Leave him dead.
Same with Steve. Like, I like the jokes of like other people not knowing that Steve went back to be with Peggy, being like, so he was young, he wasn't aging, like, where did he go? I like that joke in the universe. I think Sam and Bucky get a kick out of that. But do I want to see Chris Evans back? No, I don't. I love Chris Evans. I love Steve Rogers. I don't want to see them back in the MCU because their stories are over. It is someone else's time now. And anytime you make a reference back to that, it distracts from where it's going. So that's the only person I'd want to see is Natasha, just because like Scarlett Johansson is only like 36, y'all. Like, she could keep doing this for a while. I don't think she wants to, but like I feel like she's getting her solo movie after her character has died. How, like, that is so upsetting to me, but like I think it'll be a proper send off for her, but I don't know. I want it more for her to come back in that scene just to prove people wrong. But I've already made my peace with the fact that it's Lady Loki, or in some shape-shifted form to appear like Natasha to like trick our Loki.
Yeah, but would that make sense? Look, we're getting into little theories here, and that's fine. But would that make sense? Because for 2012 Loki, and really any Loki, really, Natasha's not really that character that would really break him down on any type of level. He doesn't really know her. True. Would that make sense for whoever it is to shapeshift into Natasha? I think that makes a lot of sense.
The only thing I would appreciate about that is the parallel between the conversation they have when Loki's in the cage. And in the very first Avengers, he's in Hulk's cage and he's like saying like, oh, this cage wasn't built for me. And he starts saying all those things about Natasha, and she pretends to cry. And then she's like, his intent is to like release Banner. Like, let's keep him away. And she is like the only person who has kind of been smart enough to like outwit him. Mm-hmm. And so that is the only thing I would love to see, especially with her movie coming out when his series is airing. Like, that's the only thing I would like as parallel wise. But I agree with you. Like, I don't think it's going to be like anything. I don't know. I'm not holding my breath for it, but if I saw it, you better believe I'm going through every single one of those comments.
Cap. Just send pictures of Captain America. Cap. If Disney decided to put 3 episodes of an MCU show in theaters a couple weeks after they premiere, would you wait to watch those episodes as one movie for the first time? Absolutely not, because content.
Yeah, I would not either. I don't have the patience to wait. No.
Well, yeah, first
I would not
off,
have the self-control.
I don't have the patience, but second off, content.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I also think too, like, I don't know. These shows to me have very much, maybe this one more specifically, and I never watched Lost when it was like on TV, but I feel like that was the first kind of show where people really were like, we are going to dedicate these 6 days and 11 hours and 59 minutes that we have between show and show. We're going to dedicate that to like talking about this show, figuring out what happened, all this kind of stuff. And I think the MCU shows are doing that in a way that is like, they're intentionally wanting us as fans to talk about things and giving us just amount of information. So like, I don't know. I personally, even though I totally agree with everyone, like I would love to watch these back to back and binge them. We have the option to do that once the show is done running for the rest of time. We'll be able to binge it as much as we want. But like to experience it for the first time and really have to sit with the episode, I think that is so fun. Like, I think that's so cool. So I would not choose to know. I would not watch it in theater.
And content.
Yeah.
I laughed at that tweet. My bro, trust me tweet. Bro, trust me, it's a funny tweet. Diego follows me on Letterboxd. Hey, he's a cool dude. I've started following him. I think he followed me too. So that's pretty cool. Peter Rabbit 2 is dead, not in the conversation. Well, yeah, it came out last weekend, so...
I'm sorry to James Corden, but his moment of the year was when he was on the Friends reunion, was not Peter Rabbit. I apologize to him, but that is the truth.
But bro, trust me. Nah.
What is the line from this episode where that Mobius says, "Why is it always the least trustworthy people who are always asking you or telling you that you can trust them?"
Something like
Just think about that line whenever you see any of this stuff online.
100%. Yo, we already had a cameo. Remember Peggy? JK, don't even get me started. You want to talk about Cap? That's the biggest cap I've heard all night. Cap. With Steve Rogers back in time, Captain America, Cold War, LOL. I don't know if you're making a Call of Duty reference. If you do, if you know, you know. That's funny. But at the same time, I mean, yeah, but no. Sam is Captain America now, so...
Mm-hmm. I agree. I don't, and a sidebar with this, I don't really understand the discourse that is happening online of people being like, oh, Sam is better than Steve, or Steve is better than Sam. Steve was Captain America. Now Sam is Captain America. They're both, you can meet both of them in Avengers Campus, I'm pretty sure. They're both great Captain Americas. They're extremely similar characters. That was the entire point of Falcon and Winter Soldier, was to show that Sam is extremely similar to Steve, just he's adjusted for the modern day and he has his own challenges to face. Instead of being a man out of time, he's dealing with race issues in the United States and what that means, carrying a symbol that has so much history behind it. Like that, like we already addressed this. Like why, I don't understand why people are fighting online. I don't think it should even really be like a conversation of like, which Cap do you like better? The conversation was Team Iron Man or Team Captain America. Sam and Steve were on the same team with that. This is not like a Sam versus Steve thing. Anyways, that's my piece. I don't really get that, but
I'm hearing a lot of Cap, not from you, from the people online, the tweeters and the talkers. Can we talk about how bomb the soundtrack is?
Yes.
It is bomb.
It is fantastic. The intro really reminds me of Gravity Falls. I don't know how many people watch that show. That was definitely something I was pretty majorly obsessed with for a bit of time, but it's very Gravity Falls-esque with the like mystery element and like the different like letters. I don't know. I love it with the music. It's fantastic. Somebody said it. It's probably Jack. Whenever I say somebody said this, it's probably Jack. It's very Tenet mixed with classic MCU mixed with like tech, like techno stuff. I don't know. It's a great soundtrack.
It's awesome. Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man was the perfect strong heart of the MCU, but the actor's in his 50s and his character died in Endgame, and that was perfect. If he returns in the movies, his age will show. Yes. Now, being the man I am, I always like to theorize. He could come back, and he doesn't have to be like in the suit all the time. Like he can be like, I'm getting too old for this ish, like something like that. And, like he is in it sometimes, but like he's kind of like a guy leading from, Avengers headquarters or whatever. You could, but you're not.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I think the other thing here is like, for me, it's not as much an issue about like Robert Downey Jr.'s age or anything, because he's obviously older in Endgame than he is in any other movie, and that may be his best performance as Tony.
Like 2 years ago,
right? And so like I don't care much about that. I totally agree with the sense of like, I brought up the Scarlett Johansson thing because I thought like, oh, they're passing the baton to Florence Pugh, a younger actress, so she can carry it. But Florence Pugh is only 10 years younger than Scarlett Johansson. So like that's the only reason I brought that kind of comparison up, of like, they've only really bought themselves 10 years because Scarlett Johansson could totally do it for longer if she wanted to. I agree. I think that's more of just like a overall direction of like the OG Avengers are on their way out. The new young Avengers are coming in. But I think for me, it's more of a sentimental story thing to just say like, we're done here. Like the book is closed on him. And I just don't think there's a reason to come back other than, I mean, it wouldn't be a cash grab because we're all paying for the subscription anyways, but like just to bring them back, just to say, oh, we did it because we could. Like that, just because you can do something in a series doesn't mean that you should do it. So I feel like bringing him back into the MCU. Plus, Tom Holland has already taken on that symbolic, or Peter Parker has already taken on that symbolic role. Yes, that's like, these movies have already been addressed. So like, I totally agree with Alex in the sense that like, his ending was perfect. His death was fitting. His arc was completed. Moving on.
Yeah. Can we talk real quick? And I'm loving the share screen feature tonight. Just straight up.
It's good.
I just saw this and I love it. Mark is the man.
I saw one of those like no context spoilers, and it was the salad. It was a picture of the salad. It was the Kermit talking to the other Kermit in the hood, and then a goat and the other. I don't remember what the other one was, but that was good.
By the way, I'll go follow me on Twitter. I post some pretty fire stuff.
Jack's Twitter is great, guys.
But I just want to really drive this one home real quick while we're still here. I really like, since we're here, I just really want to drive this one home. Okay, so we're gonna leave that now. I was there, so I just really had to drive that.
You had to.
Home. Yeah, it does remind me of Gravity Falls. And
the mystery aspect.
Twilight Zone, Doctor Who.
You know what? It really does kind of have the Doctor Who theme. Jack, have you ever watched Doctor Who?
No.
Okay,
I was a huge Sons of Anarchy.
Doctor Who is a lot. You got to start. Either you pick a recent episode and you just watch it just to get the vibes overall of the series, or you start from like the 9th Doctor, because that's when they like rebooted the series. But it's been around for 50 years, like, or more than 50 years. They celebrated their 50-year anniversary like 5 years ago. Yeah. But I totally agree that like the intro theme is like a mix between the Doctor Who theme and Gravity Falls.
10 out of 10. Michaela, going to grab dinner. Not sure how much longer you will be on, but just in case I don't catch you guys later.
Thanks so much for popping by, Michaela.
Thank you. We'll be on for a little bit longer. Not too much. We're like I said, we're not doing it as long tonight, but yeah. Hello there. Hi, Max.
Hey, Max.
Thanks for coming in. I know you're probably in Chris's stream. I think that just ended. So if you just came in from Chris's stream, was good. There's a British film critic who gave Peter Rabbit a bad review, and James Corden's dad actually wrote into the film critics radio show defending James Corden. It was absolutely cringe. LOL. I don't think that's cringe. I think that's epic.
Okay, you guys clearly have not seen
same thing.
You guys clearly have not seen James Corden send his parents to like different award shows or different events. It is the funniest thing. Like, talk about a YouTube rabbit hole. He sent his parents to like when they played the like Jacksonville Jaguars game like in London. Like, he sent his parents to that. He sent them to the Grammys the year he was hosting, like to go and get like stuff ahead of time. His dad and mom are two of the funniest people ever. Just, they're hilarious. So I see where you might be coming from of like the sense of like, okay, like a critic is just doing their job and like the dad's trying to defend him. But knowing the things I've seen of James Corden's dad, like it's, I don't know. I think they're pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, my mom does the same thing. I mean, like a lot of my tweets will get like 1 like and 1 retweet, and it's just my mom. So it's like, I totally get it. James Corden may be a nice guy, but he's so hated for the movies he's in.
And I don't don't understand this. I saw people talk about this with the Friends reunion. Like, why is James Corden there? Why James Corden just has to put himself in everything? Y'all underestimate James Corden, okay? The man is a talent. Have you seen Into the Woods? Have you?
No.
He is great in that. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to anyone in general.
Well,
but Jack hasn't seen it. But I think James Corden is fantastic in that. I think he's been able to implement a lot of things about late night that have been kind of stale for a while and do his own thing. Like, to be honest, and I'm not hating on anyone in late night. Like, I love late night television, late night talk shows. That's like half of what we all watch on YouTube, right? But like James Corden has been able to reinvent that in a way for his show that I don't think would work if anyone tried to do the same sort of thing. And I don't know. I will defend James Corden in this sense. Like, I think he's funny. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I get it. He can be a little oversaturated in the market sometimes, but yeah, I agree. I think people overhate him, Alex.
Yeah. Yo!
What's up, Chris?
My guy. We just texted earlier today. What's good? Hawks came back down almost 30 and beat the Sixers. I saw that. So I don't know if you guys know what Slack is. It's like a messaging app. That's how we communicate at my job. And one of our talent, his name's Chase, great guy. He's a relatively new guy too. He got hired there a few months before I did. Huge 76ers fan. He is down bad in our Slack channel right now. I'm just, and I'm seeing his tweets too. He is down bad. So Chase, I'll see you tomorrow. And I know you'll be talking about it. How many times do you plan on seeing Black Widow in theaters? Probably once.
Yeah, I'm not. Okay, I gotta be honest.
Unless I love it.
The last movie I watched twice was Avengers Endgame. And I went and saw it because I saw it the first time, paid my due. And then in some college towns, I know in Athens, there's a theater that does this on Tuesdays. All their tickets for any movie is $5. So I went and saw Avengers Endgame like 3 days after I saw it for the first time for $5, kind of on a whim. And that was great. But I'm not usually the kind of person that will rewatch it now. And like, even with, this will probably be honestly one of the first movies that comes out since I've been kind of getting into like Blu-ray collection and like physical media. Like, I don't even think I'll buy it right away. Like, it's supposed to be on Disney Plus come October, I think is what the announcement said. Okay. So that's probably when I'll watch it again. Like, I'm just not, I'm not really a multi-theater experience person unless it's something that I really feel like I got to go see, or someone else wants to go see it with me and I've already seen it and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, from my sources, the Blu-ray is going to come out around September. So I'll probably get it just so that I make sure that Disney doesn't screw around with the slipcovers and stuff, because I'm a completionist like that. But hey, I don't know. Probably once, because I'll get to see it once. Okay. Because they screwed me for, well, no, I don't want to say anything bad because I don't want to lose my access. But hopefully I'll get to see it once with a screener beforehand, and then I'll get to see it again. So I will have seen it twice. So the most I've ever seen in a theater is Tenet. I saw it 4 times.
Oh my goodness.
I had to break my record. My record was 3 with Captain Marvel, and I was like, I can't let that stand.
Gotta change it.
Tenet in a theater is just, it's an experience. Yeah. Tenet in a theater was just such an experience. And I saw it with different people too. Like, one time I went and saw it by myself in IMAX. One time I went and saw it with my sister. One time I went and saw it by myself again. Yeah, I did. I saw it by myself again a few days after I'd seen it the first time. And then another time I saw it with someone else I'm not going to talk about. All right. Gonna buy the Disney Plus and watch it as many times as I want. I mean, if what Sasha, you've got the information. I didn't know that they changed that you get it for a month. You will earn your money back so quickly. Yeah. Even if you're one person watching it. Because like,
I went to see Cruella. Okay. Now, again, I got a student, or no, I didn't get a student discount because we went to a matinee. Saw Cruella. It was $12 a ticket for a person. That's a lot of money, but not super bad if it's just like you or 2 people or whatever. And then, so it was 2 tickets, and then it was popcorn and a drink, and it was $28. At that point, and this is just my take on Cruella, I probably wouldn't have rewatched it a second time for $30, but at that point, to watch it in the comfort of like my living room, if it wasn't a movie like Black Widow that I wanted to see in theaters, it would be worth it. Like if Luca wasn't coming out on Disney Plus anyways, that might be a movie that I would be like, okay, I'm not going to go see that in theaters. I'm just going to stay home, and then that way I can watch it by myself. I can watch it with family. I can watch it for a YouTube review. I don't know. Like, I think I hate to say it because I never want to see the end of movie theaters. Like, I always want that to be an option.
It's not going to happen.
And I don't think it ever will go away because even now, like, people are getting back into drive-in theaters just for the sake of, like, the experience of doing it. Yeah. But I genuinely do think this Disney Plus change up is going to snag a lot of people. So I'll be interested to see how that works going forward.
Theaters aren't going away. And that's been solidified over the last few weeks because everyone was like, oh, with the streaming, theaters are dead. They're not coming back. No, A Quiet Place 2 did absolutely incredible at the box office the first week. Every movie I've gone to for the last few weeks, they haven't been packed houses, but there's been a good chunk of people. There has been, and I've been surprised. Like, a good number of people are at these theaters. Black Widow is going to be packed, and I'm going to a big IMAX. There's going to be a lot of people there, and I'm glad they're still doing the social distancing because I just don't want to. It's not like Corona, like I'm fully vaccinated, but I just don't want to sit next to anybody. I'm just kind of by myself. So I kind of like that. Eventually, that will go away, and we will have to sit next to people again. But Endgame is that's an incredible moment, and like there are movies that you got to see in theaters. Dune, you got to see in a theater. Spider-Man, you got to see in a theater. Like, it's just incredible.
I really do think you just have to weigh the pros and cons. Like, I think for me, like, definitely going to see Black Widow as close to opening night as possible. With I don't know what my schedule is going to be when that comes out, but like, yeah, I'm going to try to see that opening night. But honestly, if after that I wanted to watch it again, at that point, I may buy the Premiere Plus as opposed to going back to the theater, because at that point, like, yeah, you've already seen it, so you're paying more than if you just bought it outright. But like, then you have the option to watch it as many more times as you want. Like, if I'm going to rewatch something once, I'd probably rewatch it twice. Does that make sense? Yeah. So like, yeah, I'm curious and really interested to see, as the future of all of this goes on, how people determine what movies they're going to go see in theater. Because like Jack and I had an interesting conversation about In the Heights with that coming out last week. Jack saw it in theaters a couple months ago, right? And I did not go to theaters to see it because it was something that I watched at home. Like, I have my HBO Max subscription, so that's included in my $16 a month. And I think for me, honestly, it will come down to movies like Disney is always going to win probably my box office ticket as opposed to something from Warner and HBO Max. Like, if it's on HBO Max and I'm paying that much for HBO Max anyways to watch whatever movie they drop on there so that I can prioritize going and seeing Black Widow in the best theater possible, like, I'm going to do that. So, yeah.
And I think,
hold on 1 second. I'm gonna have to step away really quick. I will be right back.
All right. Well, I'll talk to the chat then. So the point I was going to make here as well is kind of with the Opening Heights box office. Everyone's like freaking out about In the Heights and its box office. Yeah. Okay. Fine. It didn't live up to the hype box office wise as it wanted to, but you got to consider a few things. One, they did advance screenings for Mother's Day 2 months ahead. And the screening I went to was packed, and they were free tickets. You did not have to pay for them. They were free tickets, and it was all over the country. So a lot of people already got to go see it for free ahead of time. The second point I want to make, I want to see the HBO Max numbers. Like, we haven't seen the HBO Max numbers. So it's like, once we see those numbers, okay, then if there's like millions and millions and millions of households watched In the Heights the first weekend, it's like, okay, that's why the box office wasn't as big. People are still staying home. They're going to watch it. So like the whole In the Heights box office thing, like, yeah, but there's a difference between A Quiet Place 2 and In the Heights 1. Quiet Place 2 is an experience that you should watch in a theater. Now, I'm not saying In the Heights isn't, because I loved the experience of In the Heights in a theater, but it's also the simultaneous thing, which was good during COVID. And I'm not saying COVID's over, because it's not, especially prayers up to everyone in India. What's going on there is absolutely awful. But like for us in the United States, we have access to the vaccine. We have things like that. It's coming back to normal. The duel was good when we were all in quarantine. But now, if you want to have a big box office, you got to wean away from it. And I know that after Black Widow, with Shang-Chi and the other ones, we are just going back to theaters.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see that stuff happen, which I think Warner Brothers kind of jumped the gun when they announced at the beginning of this year. They're like, oh yeah, our whole slate we're doing simultaneously. You can't do that. Thankfully, Denis Villeneuve flipped that for Dune, and it's just going to be in theaters. Dune's going to have a huge box office either way. I mean, I don't think that would have had a big box office either way, but don't worry about In the Heights. It wasn't going to be a big box office movie anyway. It's going to be like an Oscar bait movie. It's not. It's just what it is.
Well, I also think In the Heights is such a, like, I mean, the movie is about like family and community and all those kind of things anyways. So like really is the perfect, like, oh, it's raining and they just put this on HBO Max. Like, let's all watch it. Yeah. And like, let's just watch it together. And like, I don't know. I agree. I think if those numbers were made public, that would make for very interesting. And I definitely think Warner Media is going to have to walk back some of the things that they've said. Yeah, but I think I'll be interested. The thing I don't understand too much about the Disney Premier Access is like when you have something like Luca, right? Like, how do you get the messaging clear across that like you don't have to pay extra for that? And obviously when you click on the movie, like, you know, it's going to say like pay up if you want to watch it or not. But like, I just don't really understand like how you make calls about what those are going to be. And I guess eventually it will just become stuff that would be a Disney Plus or like original, just solely on there, will just be theaters. And then you'll get your Premier Access. But then like, is everything going to have Premier Access? Because right now it's kind of just their tentpole stuff. And with the exception of Pixar and a few like Disney Plus originals anyways. Like, I feel like the branding on that's going to need to get clearer as we go on.
Yeah, but you also can't botch it like they did with Luca. Because the main criticism I'm seeing isn't even about the movie. It's about that no one's going to be able to see it in the theater. Because it's just going to be on Disney Plus. I got a comment on one of my reviews today. I got a comment on my Luca review today saying, wait, it's not going to be in theaters. I thought it was going to be in theaters. No, it's just going to be on Disney Plus. Watch that. I understand it was Seoul. We're in the middle of a pandemic still, raging pandemic during Seoul.
Well, it was Christmas and it made sense. Like, let's have it come out and people just watch it.
Absolutely. But we were also in the middle of a raging pandemic. There was no vaccine yet. We were all still inside wearing masks, social distancing. Theaters were still closed. That one makes sense. Luca, look at where we are now. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So I still enjoyed it. And I do, in my opinion, it's a Disney Plus film. I don't know if you could really see it in a theater, but it was fine. October 22nd is going to be big for movies since it's the war of Wes Anderson's French Dispatch and Edgar Wright's Last Night in Soho. What are you most anticipated of those two? Damn. Two of my favorite
Last Night in Soho looks great. I don't really know too much about it, though. I would say French Dispatch just because I really do like the Wes Anderson quirk style.
Wow.
And more Owen Wilson. But yeah, no, I think that would be mine of the two. What about you, Jack?
It'd be the French Dispatch. I love Edgar Wright to death. I love Hot Fuzz, Baby Driver is in my top 10 of all time. But I'm not a horror guy. I'm still going to watch. I'm still probably going to enjoy it, but I'm not a horror guy. Wes Anderson's French Dispatch. It's about journalists. It's about journalism. I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited to see Wes Anderson's take on old school journalism. Bring it on. Let's do it. Any recent Blu-ray pickups? Well, I'll let Sasha talk to the chat real quick.
So I actually have a lot. So I've been getting a little bit into like Goodwill Blu-rays. Now I get like, I don't know. I'm one of those people that I'd rather get a good deal on a movie. If the disc works, to me, I don't care too much about what it looks like on the outside. Like, am I still hunting down an Avengers Endgame Steelbook? Yes, I'm still hunting that down. I want to have that purple one. I want to have it. But for now, oh my gosh, Jack, holy cow. Yeah, I don't have all of mine with me, but I recently picked up at Goodwill The Dark Knight with a holographic slipcover, which was super exciting. Man of Steel, and one other movie that I keep forgetting. And then today, there's actually a sale right now at Target for anyone interested for their movies, books, board games, video. I think video games was included. I'm not sure. It was buy two and you get one free. Obviously, of like same or lesser value. But I picked up A Star Is Born with a slipcover for $7.50. Interstellar on Blu-ray was $5. Okay, that wasn't even like on sale. That's just the price of it right now. And that sale on Target goes on till June 19th. So next Sunday. So over the weekend, if you're looking to pick up some Blu-rays, go check out Target, because I'm pretty sure like Steelbooks and stuff was included in that. And they have some good prices for Steelbooks.
Target and Amazon both are doing buy two, get one.
There you go.
Yeah. My Blu-ray haul this month's going to be lit. It's only halfway through
this is the first month I'm going to do one.
It's only halfway through the month. I'm about to wreak some havoc. I got big boy money now.
There you go. Oh, also, while we're on the topic of Blu-rays, Walmart, now, when I saw my recent Walmart, it was kind of dissipated, or like the supply was gone because people had bought them, but they were doing a Father's Day, and Walmart does this for a lot of holidays. I just never noticed that they were Blu-rays before. They do really unique like slipcovers, and so I got Hitman's Bodyguard for $6 with a really Jack's saying, hold on, guys, he's going to show us something, but he's doing a really Walmart has these really cool slipcovers for certain movies. Like they had Rambo, they had John Wick, and it was holographic. I just kind of had some of the other ones, so I got Hitman's Bodyguard.
Yeah. You mean like this?
Yes, exactly like that. There you go. That Hitman's Bodyguard is exactly what I have.
Yeah, and they were like $6.
Yeah, it was amazing. So yeah, highly recommend looking those places. Not sure about the supply in your local area, but for me, it's been pretty good.
Look for the deals.
Definitely.
All the John Wicks were there for like $6.
Yes. I am definitely a big, and Jack did a lovely video last week about how to start your physical media collection, but I'm a big believer, and not unless it is like you are in love with the Steelbook. It is on your mind constantly. Like you want to hit that pre-order button, but you're not sure, and it's a movie that you love. Like I am very big on like, I don't really want to pay full price for stuff. If that means I got to go a while without watching something because I don't want to spend the money on it right away, I would rather, save the money, because, I don't know. That's just me though. There you go. Go check out his video.
Just for the record as well, let me confirm this. Whoever the one person is that disliked this live stream, leave. I don't need your view.
Yeah,
actually no. I want to keep the watch time. I want to keep the watch time. But
stick around, dislike it all you want.
How about you unclick that dislike button though, because we're having fun here. This is turning into a full-on Q&A. I'm seeing In the Heights in theaters tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. Have fun. Did you get any Criterions during the sale? Did the sale already happen? No, it happens in July. I will be.
I do not own any Criterions currently, but I'm
Fire in July.
You heard it here first, folks.
Oh, I'm playing with Fire in July, guys. July, Sasha. Criterion sale.
I know. The only thing is like, I just don't know what I would even start with the Criterion. I would say, I don't know.
Just look at their catalog and see what you like.
I'm a little scared to jump in on the deep end on that one, but
you just got to taper it. I mean, like, that's me. Like, I started a little bit on the deep end, but now I'm like, all right, let's calm down. So Amazon's doing a sale of Criterions. Yeah, well, yeah, they're doing the buy two get one, and Criterions are included. So yes, you are correct. What is your favorite Funko Pop in your collection? I already showed it.
Yeah, let me see.
By far my favorite Funko Pop in my collection. It's my most unique. It's my most unique one. Not a lot of people have it. And it's by far. I mean, if y'all just got here, Logic just announced that he's back. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I'm having a lot of fun with this share screen tonight. This is Wanda in the 70s.
My little 70s pregnant Wanda is my favorite. She is the one. I said this in my Funko Pop collection, which desperately needs to be redone. She is the one that stuck in my head for literally 2 months, and I was like, I have to start collecting these. Like, I went from having a hairy dog, one Funko Pop, to now I have, I don't even know. I'm scared to count because I don't want to admit that I have a problem. But
yeah.
And then I also, sneak peek, I just picked up Elaine today at Target.
Wow.
Snagged this. Super excited. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, one of my faves, so had to get this one.
Was it an accident? You're on a short leash with me, pal.
Be careful, 123 Rock fan.
You're on a short leash with me, pal. You are on a short leash. There is no dislike anymore, but you're on a short leash. How do you feel about all the new Disney original series coming on Wednesday? So we have talked about this already, but we will hit it again. I'm not the biggest fan of it just because like I work and like I dug the Fridays because it's like you get home from work on Friday. That's how you start your weekend. That's great. Sasha made some really great points as well, though, about like water cooler talk and things like that. If you want to give your take, Sasha.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely like on the fence about the decision. In some ways, I like it because I think it prioritizes it a little bit more in people's minds because it comes out earlier in the week. But I also hate it because I'm lucky enough where I don't think I'm supposed to have classes on Wednesdays. But like for anyone trying to watch it, do any sort of review, those things, like you think like, oh, you may not watch your favorite YouTuber until like 2 days later. But like it's very important to like catch people who are just finding your channel in that 24-hour period. I talked about this a little bit before. So I think for that it stinks, or just for like, I don't know, like, I mean, it would suck if you were like 12 years old and your mom's like, no, like you have to work on your homework and you're doing your homework. And then it's like, okay, it's bedtime. Like you don't get to watch your Loki episode. Whereas on Fridays, be like, okay, yeah, you can stay up and watch whatever. I also don't like it in the sense that I don't want to have two shows that I really like coming out the same day and maybe not being able to get to both. Like right now, it works great because High School Musical, the series comes out on Fridays. I watch that Friday mornings while I drink my coffee. And then Loki, I watch whenever in the day that I'm available to. If stuff starts to back up on top of each other, like goodness forbid that we have Miss Marvel or Hawkeye the same week we're getting Book of Boba Fett, because there is the potential and a very high potential for all of that to start to overlap at the end of the year if everything they've said is coming out in 2021 ends up coming out in 2021, plus any other Disney original that might, because they usually have a couple series going at the same time. I would not be super happy about that. So long story short, I'm on the fence about it. I don't know. I like it for the summer with Loki right now. I think they should do it a show-by-show basis, personally. What works for the show.
Perfect for all the working people out there. Loki for me premieres at 3 a.m. and I work at 7 a.m. in the morning. Same for me. Loki premieres at 2 a.m. here and I have to get up at 7 a.m. to work. That's why I'm not doing Loki reviews, which sucks. And Sasha made the point. Like if you're trying to gain content, you're trying to gain subscribers, get in front of eyes, doing it even at the end of the day, like even like now.
Yeah, especially for something like MCU stuff where people are kind of like I know we say like, oh, you've got the week to digest it, but like for me, Wednesdays are Loki days right now, and everyone I know watches it Wednesdays. So then by like Friday, it's not really, not that it's not on people's minds, but like Wednesday is so far away at that point that they're gonna not think about it over the weekend. I don't know.
The people that we want to bring to our channels are the people that watch it right when it premieres and go look at the content right after. Those are the people we're trying to bring to our channels. If you put up a review 12 hours later or even a day later, which is eventually going to be what it's like starting next week for my channel, because I don't have the early episodes anymore. My review will be mine and Sasha's review, and that won't go up till the next day. You ain't gaining any traction with that. Where are we? Did you see the Knives Out slipcover at Walmart?
Yes.
Looks so ugly. It has nothing to do with the film.
I hate it.
Seen it.
So I have a sob story about Knives Out. So there was a deal around Black Friday. Jack has talked about this in his physical media video. Please go watch it if you haven't. About Best Buy and Black Friday and when to get Blu-rays and Steelbooks and all that kind of stuff. There was a beautiful, you can look it up. It was a Best Buy exclusive. There was a beautiful, beautiful Knives Out Steelbook. It looked like a mystery novel, which obviously was great. Had the whole cast, but it was a different picture than just like the normal super saturated like poster that was on the original film. I ordered it. It comes and it is the most mangled, like you would never imagine that a steelbook could like bend in that way. And part of me wanted to keep it because it was A, such a good deal, and two, that it was beautiful otherwise, other than these dents. But I was like, on principle, I'm not paying for this and keeping it. And so it had to be returned. And now, because it was a Best Buy exclusive, there was no, like, people even told us that when we returned it, like, hey, you may not get another one. You're probably absolutely not going to get another one. And I haven't. So that and the Avengers Endgame Steelbook are the two that I would want to get. But yeah, no, the slipcover is no, that's ridiculous at Walmart. I almost bought it because I don't own Knives Out just because I want to have that Steelbook. Like, I love that movie, but I intentionally don't own it right now because I want to hunt down that Steelbook eventually.
Yeah, this is the unfortunate thing that I don't think that these stores realize, is that when you ship something, especially something like that, the people don't care really about the quality of it. Like, they don't care. So I have gotten like slipcovers and stuff that are really beat up because the people that are shipping just don't care. To take away your in-person, in-store Blu-ray sections and whittle them down is a terrible mistake, because yeah, you may not be making a ton of money, but you are, because there are collectors coming in buying stuff each week, every Tuesday without fail. You've got the same people coming in each week buying the movies. That is a mistake, because people are not going to buy online, because stuff always gets destroyed. So it's like Best Buy.
Yeah.
Bad Best Buy. I do have the Endgame Steelbook though, which is lit. Film Geeks, Trevor, what's up, y'all?
What's up, Trevor?
My guy. Loki question: do you think we'll ever see Loki in his green suit with horns? Probably. That's probably ever gonna. No, it's not. Because he's gonna stay with TVA.
Yeah, my take for this is the closest we're gonna get is the mini horns that he's wearing in the president's thing with the green suit. I think we'll see him in green again. I think we'll see him in a variation of the horns again. I mean, we even had the goats this episode, which I thought was just like a hilarious kind of reference in the Pompeii scene. But yeah, no, I don't think so, unless it's a situation where this 2012 variant of Loki, but like can he deal with another 2012 Loki? I don't know. Because he is the 2012 Loki. So like I don't really think that's a possibility.
Yeah. I don't know. TVA, explain. I'm in the minority, but I thought episode of Loki was okay. I'm hesitant to watch episode 2. Go watch episode 2.
I think you'll like it, Trevor. I think if your hesitation, because I did have someone say to me today, oh, like, did you like the second episode? And I liked the first episode because it was obviously dealing with like Loki's like psyche. But I could see if someone was saying it was a little slow for a Marvel show with the lack of action. So like, I don't know if that's up your alley, Trevor, with that. But I think episode 2 is a little bit of you're moving the whole time. So I think that if that's maybe why you didn't like the first episode, then I think maybe the second episode. But it's also totally fine if you don't like it. Like I do think there's going to be people who it's not their cup of tea.
I mostly collect movie Funko Pops like Shining, Lord of the Rings, Marvel, La La Land. I need that.
I want those.
La La Land. I need it. I need it in my life.
I want those so bad.
I need it. I need the me and Sebastian dancing. I need that. I need that. I need it. Cool collection. Jealous. You want to sell me that? Do you think Loki will be a better show than Hawkeye and Miss Marvel? I don't really think we can compare. This is the beautiful thing about the shows, and something that all of us do really bad is that we compare them when they're completely different shows. So like, we can compare based off of technical aspects like the pacing, how far the story has progressed, what the story has done, in the grand scheme of the show. But from style and which one's better, it's kind of hard. We do it still, but it's kind of hard. So I can't really answer that question. I'm very excited for Hawkeye. I'm excited for Miss Marvel too. Like, I think Captain Marvel, I think she's going to be in it. From what I've heard, I think Brie Larson's going to be in it.
Yeah, I'm super psyched for both of those shows, and I talk about Hawkeye a lot. I think for me, yeah, like Jack said, we have a sitcom about grief. We have a run of the, and I don't say run of the mill in a disparaging way. I just mean run of the mill TV show of these two guys, like a spy thriller type show with deeper things going on there. And now we have a time travel detective show. So like tonally, like it's hard to say one is better. Now, can you say, like Jack said, technically, can you say that? Can you say your own preference for the shows? Absolutely. For me, I think I'll probably like Loki overall more than Hawkeye. Oh, okay. Well, my light just went out. I think I will like.
My camera's about to go out anyway, too, probably.
I think Loki overall, I will probably like better technically, and the fact that it will be more like a 6-hour movie. But I feel like with Hawkeye, I'm definitely going to find things to like there. And same with Miss Marvel. Like, it's just going to be, I don't know. It'll be we'll get back to you about that, Alex, when they actually come out and we can give our opinions.
It's tough. We haven't seen them. It's really what it comes down to. Do you think Tobey and Andrew will be introduced as variants of Tom Spider-Man? No. We're gonna have the multiverse. I don't think they're gonna be variants. I think it'll be the multiverse.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm gonna stay away from my takes about Spider-Man No Way Home just because I kind of I don't know. I think I totally love to theorize. I totally love things when they're based on stuff that's happening. I want to go into No Way Home with no feeling of like I want this to happen or I don't. Like if that's subconscious, sure, but I don't want to like I don't know. I don't want to have my opinion about a film swayed because I think something's going to happen or not.
Tobey and Andrew are coming. If they don't, y'all can put caps in this video. You can come back to this video and put a bunch of caps, but they're coming. I know it. Jack, how'd you first meet Chris? How did I first meet Chris? Chris, if you're in here, how did we first meet? Well, I know Chris. Apparently, and again, I still can't wrap my head around this because I don't think I'm that cool. But a lot of the people that I've met through YouTube were, I don't want to say fans because that seems too much.
But subscribers.
That seems too egotistical. But subscribers, like they were subscribers for much longer before I even met them, which boggles my little old mind because I don't think I'm that cool. But it also, because we're all kind of the same age, I don't really like to think of myself as a vet on YouTube. But I kind of am like the old man on YouTube of everyone in our close group.
Yeah.
A lot of like you guys and have started within the last maybe 2 years. A lot of people started last year. So it's like, and I've been doing it since I had started high school. And now have graduated college. I don't know. But you know, I don't remember. I think he had commented on some of my videos, and then I don't remember even the first video we did. I don't. It might have been favorite movie and why. I don't remember. We did some live streams, and now we're best buds. So I was just texting with him today like a bud, just like, well, we were trying to plan something special for movie drafts, but that's for another day. But you know, just bud. But bros being bros. Bros being bros. Loki theories. Yes. We're going to go through these last few comments. Then we're going to do Loki theories. And then we got to go because it's getting late.
Works for me.
Hey, guys. Hey.
Hey, Reagan.
Jack, so close to 700 subscribers. Yes. You freaking do it. You do it right now. No, but seriously. The link, if you click the link that I've pinned, it'll take you directly to subscribe. So it's not like it's going to take you to my channel. It will take you to my channel, but then a box is going to pop saying, do you want to confirm that you're subscribing? And you press subscribe, and it'll subscribe you. A little trick I learned at work, which is
there you go.
I love working for a company that just does YouTube. It's so cool. I learn stuff every day. You guys noticed have you guys ever got noticed by a famous celebrity minor big on the internet in person? Not in person. I mean, I got to interview Brandon Davis, who he's really big in like our industry, like in the entertainment industry. And I got to interview him in January. Which if you guys haven't watched that, it's freaking awesome. Especially the last question I asked him is just absolutely amazing. So if you guys have not seen that, it's the first episode of a series that I'm about to resurrect. But yeah, so that's probably the only one. Well, no. I had Kevin Smith quote retweet one of my articles. I wrote a review during South by Southwest of the documentary that's coming out about him. And he added and thanked me for my review on my review.
That's so cool.
So there we go. I completely forgot about that, but that's probably the coolest thing that's happened this year is Kevin Smith quote retweeted me and said, thanks.
For me, I'm trying to think. These are two things and they both happened a very long time ago. The first one was I got, Tyler Oakley, who is a YouTuber, he wrote a book called Binge, and I bought it. And I realized at the store after I'd bought it that it didn't have like a sticker saying it was signed or it wasn't in like the signed category, but it was very clearly like signed. And like I even looked up other signed copies to like be sure. And I'm tweeted on a Twitter that at the time my parents did not want me to have a Twitter. And I tweeted about it. So there's no proof of it anymore that this ever happened. But I tweeted saying like the best thing to happen today is like, or just something about like the fact that I accidentally bought a signed copy of his book. And I don't know if he retweeted it, but I know that he liked it. I know that he liked the tweet. So that was like, I don't know. That was just kind of a dumb thing. But like, obviously he was looking for like #binge or whatever and like saw that. So that was super cool. And then there's a girl on YouTube who I absolutely adore. Her name is Jess Conti. And she and her husband do like vlog YouTubes. And so she's like my lifestyle gal that I love. And I comment on her like Instagram posts sometimes. And I made some like High School Musical comment on one of hers and she like replied to me. So mine are very minor internet celebs, but yeah, those are my little things.
Yeah. I had a John Chu quote retweet my In the Heights review.
That's awesome.
He was like, that was when he was doing all his frenzies. Like, it wasn't on my account. So like both of these are not on my accounts, but they are of my reviews.
There you go. That counts.
Kevin Smith did at me though. He took the time to and type in my name to at me and thank me. John Chu was just like, yo, thank you. This is awesome. But
that's sick.
Kevin
That
Smith
is amazing.
Is there an actor you want to see join the MCU? I've always wanted to see Ben Stiller join a Thor Guardians of the Galaxy movie. That's a great idea.
That is a great idea.
I want to join the MCU though. Excuse me. Charlie Hunnam. Bring him. Do it. Jax Teller. I just finished watching Sons of Anarchy. Bring him. It was actually a question that was asked on Chris's live stream. I hopped in there before we started the stream. Charlie Hunnam, like, yes, I'm on a Sons of Anarchy kick. Yes, I just finished it and I love it so much. Yes. But there's even in The Gentleman, like, he is fantastic. Get him in like a gritty role. Because Jax Teller, he's like a gritty gangster biker guy. Get him in a gritty role like that. Do it. Do it now. And I need the residual checks when you do that. Please.
So speaking of The Gentleman, I have just recently finished Green Lights, which is Matthew McConaughey's book. It is fantastic.
I gotta read it. I gotta read it.
I cannot recommend it enough. It is fantastic. I love memoir type books from celebrities. I've read both Mindy Kaling's, read Amy Poehler's, Anna Kendrick's, Tina Fey's, Aziz Ansari's book about romance, which it's not even like his book, but like it's research. If I could have Matthew McConaughey, and I think the only role right now that I could see him potentially in is, I don't know. I'm not saying him and Owen Wilson are similar, but something about the kind of Southern accent thing, I could see McConaughey doing a take on that. But McConaughey is so versatile that I just want to see him in the MCU. No.
I got it. Marvel, I need residual checks for this one too. So we're talking variants here.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a Matthew McConaughey variant of the Collector.
Yes.
Do it.
That is a great idea.
All like, all right. What you guys need? I got all this. Oh, I just hit my monitor.
That would be amazing.
Variant of the Collector. Do it, and then you can get him on like the ride at Disneyland. Benicio del Toro is great, but get McConaughey in there. He would be
a great variant of the Collector.
Mitchell, hey guys. Hey Mitchell, how you doing?
Hey Mitchell.
How are you guys? Love to chill with you too when I get back from play practice. I'm doing great. I'm exhausted. Sasha is also great. But Sasha, you can say I don't want to speak for you.
Yeah, no, I'm doing great, Reagan. And I'm so glad that you're back here today.
Sasha, new episode of the High School Musical was awesome.
It is my favorite so far. And I think I don't know. I don't know if I've talked about this. 5 is my lucky number. High School Musical, the series was episode 5, and that was my favorite of this season. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Just going to watch episode 2 of Loki. Just wondering what. Let me know. Have fun with it though. It's a great one.
Enjoy it, Mitchell.
Oh, he has a question out here. Have you guys watched Meet the Parents with De Niro and Ben Stiller? I have not.
I saw Meet the Fockers. So I've not seen Meet the Parents, but I've seen Meet the Fockers.
Meet them Fockers. Haven't seen the episode. I hope it's good.
It's really good, Reagan. But be careful because we are going to get into theories soon.
So
there will be some spoilers.
We'll give a spoiler warning beforehand. I need to buy La La Land still. Still don't own it. Do it.
Go get that thing.
Do it now. I still need to find the vinyl. I'm trying to find the vinyl. My sister has it. Big old jealous. Need to find the vinyl. It's so expensive on Amazon. You watch Brokeback Mountain? I have not.
I have, yes. It is fantastic. It's one of those movies that makes you want to like sit down and do a video essay about it because there's so much to talk about. But I think my favorite thing, just to sum it up quickly, is like the balancing of these two men who are clearly like struggling with their sexuality, paired with how they like emulate what masculinity is supposed to be, because they're both extremely like aggressive in the film, but they're also dealing with the fact that they both live these like cowboy lifestyles where homosexuality is not like accepted. Anyways, yeah, I won't say anything more about the movie. I think it's amazing. The parallels, the little like the symbolism and some of the like items that they use in their life as cowboys versus when they're at home. Yeah, I love that movie.
Livin'. Damn right. Has Sasha watched Road Trip, Todd Phillips' first movie he directed? Well,
I've not
asking me. No.
I have not.
Just started the Deadpool comics. They're fantastic. I wish I could watch the movie. I love Deadpool's character. Just you wait until you're old enough. They are a flippin' treat.
They are a ride for sure.
Are so good. Some of the best, honestly. Meet the Parents is more cringe comedy than The Office.
Do you mean in like awkward and uncomfortableness? Because
probably.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I can't speak to it.
Yeah. I'm gonna break Jack's heart, but I own La La Land but haven't seen it. You're not gonna break my heart. I just feel bad for you. Like
you're missing out, Max. You're missing out.
Go watch it now. Like keep the stream on because we need the watch time, but just go watch it now. If you guys watched Memoirs of a Geisha,
I think is how you pronounce it. No. I have not. I've heard that it is fantastic. That's definitely one that I feel like is probably a popular criterion, or at least probably in the collection, but yeah. No, I have not seen it.
All right. Right it is. I was about to say it. You damn right it is. We're gonna hit this, and then we're gonna.
Guys, little do you know, during these live streams, Jack is actually the man behind the chair, or the man in the chair for some superhero. I'm
doing my job at home too. I'm producing the entire thing. Spoilers, yes. Ticker.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing I do at my job here. My job never ends. Okay. Get off Twitter. Stop it. Okay. Gonna do a quick pause and then. All right. Theory time. It's theory time. I'll let Sasha start because I know that she's got some theories that she's been waiting to say, and then I'll see what mine are. I've blanked. I don't remember, so I'm just gonna let Sasha start.
So I think one of my first theories, which was the one earlier that I said I'm gonna save this for later, is that I kind of have this weird feeling that the timekeepers are not. Now, this is kind of a stretch and it's not really based in logic, but that's what a theory is supposed to be able to do. Okay. I feel like the timekeepers are not actually existing. They're like Oz, who like, oh, great and powerful, but then like behind the curtain, there's someone running the show. Now, do I know who that is? No. Can I really vouch for why I believe this? No. I just feel like they're coming up too often. This Loki is questioning like well, where are they? And then this one lady said, the only thing that makes me not believe in this theory that I've created for myself is the kidnapped TVA agent who is like, I told them where the timekeepers are. Like, I told Lady Loki where the timekeepers are.
Yeah, that was a big deal too.
So that makes me think like, okay, they are in a physical location. They do actually exist. But I feel like the fact that we've just seen them in these huge statues, there's always the three faces in the judge room. There's the three of them in the Miss Minutes cartoon. Part of me just thinks that they don't like exist at all. That's a stretch, but that is my like first theory.
I dig it. I have a completely different theory about them, and I'll get into that one right now because you just rekindled my memory. I like that theory though, because it could just be a trick of like, oh hey, there's really no one here. And I don't know if I'd really like that.
I don't know if I would either, but that's just something I feel like I have to say it, whether it comes true or not, but I've just gotta.
Yeah. So my theory with the timekeepers, I believe so. The thing I like about the MCU is there's a lot of ambiguity between what's right and what's wrong. We see that up front, foremost in Captain America: Civil War. Thanos rides that line pretty frequently throughout Endgame, Infinity War, and that's something that Marvel does really well. They don't always define what is right or wrong. It's up to interpretation by the audience. So I think is going to happen, and it's just a theory. I don't know I don't have any insider information. We will eventually get to the timekeepers. I do think they're real. I don't think that there's anything like secret about them, but they toe that line. And this is what I was talking about when I mean like the neutral. There is no right or wrong for them. It's just, here's what the sacred timeline has to say. And I think there will be an instance in Loki where something happens and they're like, yo, timekeepers, this is bad. We got to fix this. And they can't, and they're going to be like, nah, this is the sacred timeline. This is what has to happen. And they're going to have to convince the timekeepers, yo, we got to fix this. And that's how the multiverse is going to, like, there's going to be a scenario where you have to create the multiverse to fix or say or whatever you have to accomplish. So instead of succeeding by not making the multiverse, really, they'll succeed by convincing the timekeepers to make the multiverse. That's my big theory, because look, there's no doubt, there's no secret, the multiverse is coming, whether you like it or not. Doctor Strange's subtitle is literally In the Multiverse of Madness. It's coming. No ifs, ands, or buts. And this is going to be the show to tackle it. Yes, this is how the multiverse. You can think it's going to come some other time, but with the timeline of when projects are coming out, that doesn't make any sense. Because Spider-Man comes out in December, so that doesn't make any sense. It's going to happen in Loki. And I think we may have that. I don't think the timekeepers are going to be all good like we think they are. The people at the TVA think they are because they were all created by the timekeeper.
Yeah.
It's like Loki says. He literally says this over and over, time and time again. You're feeding me this propaganda. This is propaganda. I don't buy this. This isn't real. Because they toe that line between good and bad. Nothing's ever really good. Nothing's ever really bad. And when push comes to shove, nah, that's just what the sacred timeline says. You got to keep living. Like, that's just what it is. So that's my theory. I think that there's going to be something that happens where they have to go to timekeepers and be like, yo, you need to fix this. And they don't. And then a conflict happens. And that's how the multiverse comes out.
Yeah. It's totally like that line from Hamilton of like, you'll always be loved by the things you create. Like, obviously the TVA is always going to be in support of whatever the timekeepers choose. And like, they may even accept the multiverse option, even though they've kind of been fed something different if it comes directly from the timekeepers than even Loki will. Because at that point, like, he's very much a free thinker. He's willing to do what he needs to do to accomplish what he needs to accomplish in this series. So yeah, no, I don't believe too strongly that they're like, oh, they don't exist. I just feel like it's like, ooh, big figure. Like, that feels, especially when the whole series feels pretty ground level for dealing with time travel and kind of things like that. Like, that's just what makes me a little skeptical, but it's not something I like hard believe. I just wanted to bring it up as a fun theory.
Yeah, no, I very valid. I mean, I really like that theory. The next one I want to hit, I had it, and okay, I got it. The next one I want to hit is it's kind of harkening back to kind of what we were talking about in our last stream, but it's adding to it. Mm-hmm. So in our first stream, we were both kind of to the consensus that this season's going to end and Loki is going to stay with the TVA. He's not going anywhere. He's going to be a part of the TVA with Owen Wilson's Mobius. That's where he's going to stay. He's going to stay with the TVA. So this time I'm extending that. And my theory is how he's going to continue, like where we go in the next season. So it goes hand in hand with my theory I just said about how the multiverse is created. I think what the thing that they're worried about is if the multiverse is created, automatically there's going to be this huge war that breaks out, which I can understand. But what if the multiverse is created and to keep the other multiverses in check, that's where you send the TVA. When someone is getting all rowdy and fiery, you send the TVA in to chill it out. I think next season we could very well see, oh, hey, the multiverse is acting up. Let's send in Loki and Mobius to like calm everything down. I don't think, the more that I'm really thinking about this, I don't think next season, because there's definitely going to be a next season. There's no way there's not. I don't think next season you're trying to avoid the multiverse from existing because, again, it doesn't make any sense logically to where the MCU is going. Doesn't make any sense. So I think now they're playing like kind of police, like time police or multiverse police.
Yeah.
And I kind of like it. Dealing with
that makes a lot of sense.
Like that. So that's kind of my theory on that.
Yeah, I don't know if I have one on like future seasons. I definitely am interested to see because like in like Doctor Strange, I'm thinking like, how does that movie end? Like if that movie ends with like I think there's got to be an option for, especially when they're talking about propaganda, right? All they believe is multiverse bad, like multiverse, no option for good, right? But what if like over the course of this Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, we learn, okay, there is a way to live with the multiverse, kind of the way you're talking about, Jack. And like the TVA does become, instead of being kind of just like a paperwork, like keeping documents on how things are supposed to be and minorly interfering in things. What if they become like an active part of the story again, doing what they're doing, trying to chase down particularly bad variants? Because I think what I like about the variant option, especially for multi-seasons for this show, is that they're not so, like they're never going to be God level, right? They're never going to be Thanos. They're never going to be like the big bad. They can obviously be tackled and it's believable. Like I believe whole heart of hearts, whether this is how the season ends or not, Mobius, the TVA, can take down Lady Loki if they need to, specifically with Loki's help. Yeah, you might have to recruit like past variants or different people, but like how funny would it be if then next season there's like, oh my gosh, okay, there's another Loki variant, but they catch him in the first episode and then there's some other variant of, I don't know, evil Steve Rogers, like not played by Chris Evans, but like whoever. Like, okay, we got to go track. Like that's something that's believable to me as a one season villain that's not going to escape into the movies, that can be contained to the TV shows. But yeah, I agree. I think the TVA is only going to get really stronger after this, and I do think that makes a lot more sense of like learning to live with the multiverse as opposed to fearing it.
Yeah, I got another theory as you were talking about that. So what if, so you know the scene where like, you know, he's got the little horns on, he's like to vote for Loki or whatever, and he's got all the other Lokis behind him. We all think that when he's like surprised or whatever the line, like surprised or whatever the line is, we all think he's talking to Mobius and the TVA. But what if he's talking to Lady Loki and he's like, surprised, I got my team here, we're about to take you down. Like, what if? I don't know.
I think that definitely seems more likely. I think the trailers have really made us try to believe that like, oh, now he escapes and now, oh, he's bad. Like, but I don't, like Loki doesn't mind, like just because it's a version of himself, similar powers, does not mean that he's like on Lady Loki's side. Like he's going to double cross whoever he needs to.
Yeah, and this is something I forgot to break down when we got into our review, but I'm going to do it now. if you look at Loki in those last 30 seconds of the episode, when he sees the TVA coming and he sees that Lady Loki's already dipped, his face is like, they're going to think this was me.
Yeah.
And he dips for two reasons. One, to get out of there because they're going to think it's him. And two, to go track down Lady Loki because the TVA, they're not going to know how to find her. Theory number 3 for me tonight. He's lying when he said he's trying to get all goody-goody with Lady Loki.
Yes.
He is bold-faced lying. He's doing his mischief. And for the first time, he's doing it for the good of the TVA.
Yeah.
He's going undercover cop on this ish. Like, that's what he's doing. He's not going to team up with Lady Loki. It's not happening. He's going undercover for the TVA. He is not rebelling. And I kind of like that. I actually kind of like that.
Those are both of what my theories were, is that he is following her because he realizes, not even from that split second of that they're tracking him down, but almost I realized, like, okay, he's going to have to make a choice here when, forget her name, but the guard who got knocked out by the Lady Loki when she transferred to him, she's going to wake up and the last thing she's going to remember is Loki and some random resident of the 2050 Alabama timeline. Obviously, she distrusts Loki, so she's going to put the blame on Loki and try to, like, be like, Mobius, I told you this wasn't a good idea. So from that moment, I was like, he's going to have a choice. And in that split second when they're chasing him down, he realizes, if I stay with them, they're probably just going to punish me.
They're going to pull them. Yeah.
Right. They're going to, what is it? Prune them is what they call it. Yeah. I'm going to get pruned, get destroyed, disintegrated. There's no more chance for me. So why don't I follow her? And I have the option to then do whatever I want. Like, if I need to disappear into a timeline, he knows at that point that they'll track him down at least. And I think there was all that talk about the superior Loki. I think in that moment he realizes, like, she is the superior Loki because I don't know enough about her, but, like, through knowledge and, like, following her, I can
figure it
take
out.
her down. So, like, he just realizes that, like, his only option for, like, survival at that point is to follow her. That's my belief.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I couldn't agree more. We didn't really touch on that in the review because I completely spaced, but that is a great ending because you can just tell, like, his vulnerability shines through once again in, like, that split second. Like, if you really look and you really watch, like, look at his face, look at how he's reacting. Like, he knows. He's like, crap. Like, they're going to think it's me. And I love that they made the decision they did to do that, because now it's like, yeah, he's going to do what's good, but at the same time, now he's on the run from the people that he's trying to help.
Yeah.
I like that dynamic, which I think is really good. But any other theories you have? I mean, there's just a lot coming, I think, but
yeah, I don't think I have anything particular because I think those were kind of my main things. Yeah, I think those were my main theories that I had earlier, and I don't think I have anything new. If I rewatch it and I think of something, I'll let you all know in the community post or something, or talk about it next week. Yeah, but, like, yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes because I think this is a great cliffhanger, a great jumping off point. Like, I think even the way that the episode's gonna start, are we gonna start with Mobius in that minute? Is he gonna return to the TVA?
Yeah,
is that where we start? Do we start with Loki and Lady Loki? Like, I think that option, just to even start the episode whatever the way they want, is what I'm so excited about for the future.
Absolutely. We're going to take you guys' last few comments and then we're getting out of here because it's late. Sasha got stuff to do. I got stuff to do. We're going to hit them real quick and then we're getting out. Thank you guys for watching. It's been fun.
Yes. Thank you guys for coming and stopping by.
We're going to hit these last few real quick. Off topic, but at my cousin's wedding, I said I wouldn't dance unless Another Day of Sun came on. It eventually did, and everyone danced, and it was so much fun. I mean,
such a great
dance.
Song.
I don't dance either, but La La Land gets me going. La La Land gets me going.
Fantastic.
Imagine if they do a Mandarin twist with the timekeepers. People would be pissed. I'd be pissed.
Yeah. I think the only reason I said that is just because I'm like, I'm almost as skeptical as Loki, and I feel like I'm putting myself more in his shoes in this situation than I am like Mobius is. And I think if you think all these people have been created to abide by and believe in the timekeepers, and the people at the TVA don't recognize this, but Loki does, is that even them as just this creation of from nothing, that's all they do is work this office job. They have so much power. Like, even if they're maybe not operating of free will, as they have the conversation about, they have so much power. So, like, I don't really want it to be, like, a behind-the-curtain thing or for the TVA to be an illusion. I definitely don't think that's what it is. I just think, like, maybe the TVA isn't what they're telling us. Like, what if it's 3 timekeepers, but they're, like, kind of old men? Or they're kind of like the Watcher from What If? And, like, it's more of a situation like that. Like, I definitely think they exist. I definitely think that. But is it an Oz behind the curtain? Like, okay, he's just this old guy from Kansas, not these space lizards. But also, if they are space lizards, like, that will just be freaking awesome too. So
be epic, yeah. What if the timekeepers are just 3 different Lokis? I don't buy that.
I just don't think, I don't want the whole show to be like I think we have enough on our hands with spending so much time with Loki himself, our Loki, 2012 Loki, and then also having the Lady Loki variant.
I will say he adds on, like, a previous Loki's already accomplished conquering the TVA. I don't know if any Loki is capable of doing that, honestly.
Yeah.
I think 2012 Loki is kind of like prime Loki if you really think about it.
If you, I see the working against, or like the Lady Loki being like able to outsmart the TVA, but I don't think anyone ever can, like,
because the timekeepers know.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing.
Exactly.
They know. You're not going to get past the timekeepers. They know. So.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Yeah. Michaela's back. Hello, Michaela.
Hey, Michaela.
So fun to hang out with you guys. Hope to catch it after practice next week. We'll be here.
Yes, absolutely, Reagan. Come back.
Be here and kicking. From the words of Schwarzenegger, I'll be back next week. And we will.
We will be too.
Guys, that is it. Thank you, Sasha, for taking the time again.
Absolutely.
So much fun. Guys, we will be back next week. I know I didn't, like I said earlier, I didn't publicize it this week because the Luca embargo dropped today. So there was so much going on for that. So I don't, that's just, I wasn't able to do it, which by the way, a real quick plug. I don't want to say it got promoted, but I'm taking on a bigger role at Music City Drive, and I'm actually making video. I'm a video content creator for them now too, doing my own series called Bite Size Reviews with Jack. First one came out for Luca today. They're like 3-minute reviews. Like that's kind of the whole theme of the thing. So go check out Music City Drive-In, because Ricky, who's actually going to be on the next episode of Movie Drafts, he brought me in as one of the new people to kind of grow that channel. So go check that out. But yeah, and subscribe here. Trying to get 700. We're almost there.
Let's get him there, guys. He's almost there.
Almost there. You guys, so here's the thing, is you guys are coming, and then YouTube is like getting rid of the bots. So like I'll gain a few subscribers, and then like YouTube will be like, he's gaining subscribers. Let's get rid of these bots. Then my subscriber count goes back down. So come, and we're having fun here. I don't plan on stopping any time soon. Have you seen people saying timekeepers are just Doctor Strange? I also don't believe that. I do kind of want to see if Doctor Strange knows who the timekeepers are or who the TVA is. That's something I'm interested to explore.
That is a theory. I would say that he's like, when that comes up in the future, he's gonna be like, oh yeah, like you guys didn't know about this, because it would be the total opposite of that scene in Infinity War when they all meet on the spaceship on Thanos' cronies like spaceship, and they're like, who is Gamora? Why is Gamora? And Peter Parker's like, oh, we're using our made up names. I'm Spider-Man. Like,
well, all that kind of stuff. It's also the whole thing about, and this is kind of a flaw in the writing, but it's Infinity War and I love it. When in Ragnarok, he's like, I keep a list of all the people in like the universe that may be a threat. And then when Hulk comes into the Sanctum at the beginning of Infinity War, and he's like, Thanos is coming in, Doctor Strange is like, who? It's like,
yeah, like really strange. Okay, but yeah, no, I definitely think I think that would just be a funny twist for him to be like, yeah, I know about that, like kind of dismissive of it, and just be like out of hand, like they're not going to show up, like they know not to interfere. Like, I don't know.
I mean, he's
like, I think that would just be
the keeper of the time stone,
exactly
like time.
Yeah,
but yeah, that'd be funny. I think that'll probably be addressed in multiverse.
I agree.
I think Jack is my new favorite YouTube channel. He's so good. Get him to 700 subs. That's very nice, but go sub to Sasha though. She's dope.
Thank you guys.
Sasha's my favorite YouTuber, so it's like,
oh my gosh, thank you, Jack.
Hand it off, So, but yeah, give me Get me to 700. Do it.
Get in there, guys. Come on.
Share with your friends.
Retweet when his videos go live.
Yeah, don't just have my mom be the one retweet. But yeah, Michaela says night, guys. Night, guys. That is it. We're out. We're gone. I'm going to bed. Sasha's going to bed. We're all going to bed. Nighttime. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week. Have a good night.
Peace out. Bye, everyone.